Tom, we are live. It's West Ham versus Newcastle United, and I'm not gonna lie, a win here would do us real nice. It'd be real nice.
It would be lovely. It would really push us, steer us into the a few points away. Obviously, we thankfully for what Chelsea did favour for us last night. I tell you what, I think since the season's restarted back, the only team that is sort of not done us any favours is Brighton. I think every other result has gone our way the entire time.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that? Because I feel like there hasn't been a single result that hasn't been in our favour since the restart.
I can't think of one. It's been going quite well. I didn't watch any of the games yesterday, but I did have a quick gander over the results, and I saw it going too well, if we're being honest. I was like, oh, lovely stuff. And yeah, I mean, if we get a win today, we'll be however many points ahead. We'll be 6 points out of the relegation zone.
6 points, I think 6. Yeah, with still the other teams to play. Yeah,
absolutely massive.
Still.
Thank you to everyone who's joining us from Gonzo's stream. Of course, Gonzo's just finished. He will be back at full time with a review. We'll do the usual thing where we spam the chat so you can just click straight ahead. So thank you to everyone who's joined us from that. Shout out to Gonzo for giving us the shout out back as well. Of course, living his pinball life, the pinball wizard himself, Gonzo. Tom, who's in the chat?
Let's just go through and say Eric Olsted. I think it's his fourth time in a row being here from the start.
Legend.
Eric, hello to you. Fo, Sheezy, good afternoon, mate. Hope you do well. Charlie, I've just remembered. Fo donated, didn't he? Just as the live stream ended last time, and I don't know. I didn't watch it back, so I didn't know if we had a chance to thank you. So Fo, thank you very much
thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the donation. We really appreciated that. Goes into the biscuit fund. James Gunn. Who starts off Cresswell versus St. Maximum. Can't wait, mate. Ryan Singh. We will get to the questions in a second about staying up. Starlight, Seaside Hammer. Hello, afternoon, lads. We have seen your questions. Don't worry, we'll get to those in a second. Timothy Melican.
Oh, the big
good afternoon,
man.
Sir. The big man. I imagine that you're doing your watch along as well today. So good luck with that for the American Hammers. Sam Zini. Good afternoon, mate. I recognise you from Twitter, actually. Rob Tyler Black, Knackered. Hello, lads from Perth, Australia. Bloody hell.
Love that.
Perth.
What time is it there?
1 in the morning, is it? I don't know.
They're ahead. No, behind. They're ahead. I know things.
Look at us both with coffees today. Is it a cup of tea with
mine's a cup
Charlie and Tom?
Mine's a cup of tea, to be fair.
A cup of coffee with
I don't
Tom.
drink coffee. I've got the old Sucek West Ham Man United score. I don't know if you can see it properly because the camera.
Yeah, just got a basic thing. Gary Smithhurst, Charlie Boy, Martin Sheridan, Luca Daniele, Alan Woodhouse, Greg Hoosey, Mark Taylor, Rebecca, the mug. Yes, so everybody's in there. Nice to see everybody. What do you want to do, Charlie? Should we take a few questions from the chat first, or
let's take a few questions from the chat? I don't know the lineup, so let's leave that for a bit.
I haven't seen it either. So Cresswell versus St. Maximin was the first one. So obviously there's a hint for us both, even though we haven't seen the lineup. Starlight says fish cakes because that's what helped us against Chelsea. Fair enough. I don't have fish cakes there. I did have salmon for lunchtime, though. Ryan Singh asked...
About 5 seconds before we started, I was shoveling sausages and bagels down my throat, but you've missed that, unfortunately. I thought it rude to do, at least at the beginning of the stream. Mid-stream, when it's just the hardcores, then, listen, all bets are off, food's happening. But until then, it's what it
is. So, Ryan Singh, first one. If we win, do we stay up, Charlie?
It puts us in an incredibly strong position. A position so strong, I'd be tempted to say yes. But I do realise it's a bit too soon, and 2 wins could get us back down again. But
I think we need one more win, I'd say. I think one more.
Yeah, I think it puts us in a position where we'd need maybe a draw or a win, and then we're definitely up, which would be golden. Seaside Hammer says, what's your take in higher and no Anderson? I guess we'll do that in a second when we look at the teams. What else have we got here? Sam was saying the same thing. You reckon, and we're safe. Villa beating Sheffield. I think that's Burnley, Nick Swire. I think that are beating that. Bottom 3 are down, says Martin Sheridan. Alan Woodhouse. Tom's eyes makeup is on point.
Right, I was abused as a kid for having nice eyes.
You just listen. I don't think
I have really long eyelashes. I I don't think you guys can see. Can you see that? I've got really long eyelashes. So everybody always said as I was a kid.
Tom, you don't have to zoom in. We all notice, mate. We all notice. Listen, you've just got lovely eyes. You know, eyes one could fall into. You know what I'm saying?
Mascara Boy was my nickname at school. So thanks for reminding me, Alan Woodhouse. You put me back to my childhood. It's not good. Mark Taylor, hi all from Bromley. Hello, Mark.
Bromley.
Nice to see you. Highlights from Woy, Australia. Is that actually a place?
Right. I've never heard of this place.
Woy. Do you know there's a place down the road from me in Yorkshire called the Land of Nod? Like it was an actual signpost for a place called the Land of Nod.
There's a place I saw on a map once. I don't know where it is. I think it's just north. Maybe it's in London, but maybe it's just North London, called Pratt's Bottom. And I really wanted I really wanted it to be split into two halves, so you could have lower Pratt's Bottom and then more importantly upper Pratt's Bottom, but it didn't. Unfortunately.
Let's have a look. Who else we got? Nearly at the bottom here, Charlie. Nearly done. Connor Matthews. Oi. Afternoon, Connor. How you doing?
Shout out.
Foshizi Tom, we need your Nan's lucky rice pudding again. I know she's been slacking. She's not there.
She's been slacking. Listen. I won't say that. All I'll say is that, you know, there were other people in your room doing stuff for you all of 5 minutes ago. So I wouldn't be lobbing people saying they're slacking and whatnot, Tom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. What else we got here? Tom, I get you. My girl cousins used to say you wore makeup when I had you wore makeup when you had really long eyelashes. The jealousy is real. I know. And the checkout ladies that all used to sit there and be like, oh, he's got such lovely long eyelashes, doesn't he?
You do. It's a compliment, bro. Take it.
Yeah, I know. I'll take it. Ben Davies asks, "Hi boys, why are you talking about bottoms?" Well, Ben.
Listen, Ben, you knew what you were signing up for. Is all I'm going to say.
Oh, well, you're here now, aren't you, Ben? What with my eyes and Pratt's Bottom? Well,
it's the ultimate combo. It's the best football watch along on YouTube. You see nothing like it anywhere else. We'll say that.
You thought you were here for Newcastle against West Ham. How wrong you were, Ben.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
What a time.
Everybody's sticking in the chat at the minute where they're from. Where are you guys watching from today? Because like I said, we've had loads of people far and wide already.
Australians, I love that. I know we've seen Charlie Boy, obviously, my twin brother from another mother. He's New York, obviously. Rebecca's out in Ireland at the moment. We've got people far and wide.
Far and wide. Do you know what? Do you want to change it up this week? Do you want to read the team sheets to me?
Hang on a minute. Are
you ready for that?
Sheffield United have just scored. I'll open it up on my phone because I'm scared if I do it on my computer, everything will crash. So I'll do it on my phone.
Has anybody, by the way, just quickly before we go any further, has anybody got an espresso machine at home? I just had one delivered this week, and it's just, I mean, I sent Charlie and Rebecca as well a 4-minute video of me preparing my first ever.
He was very excited about it.
I was so excited. I've got level 9 out of 11. This is Intenso or something like that. Oh, it's beautiful. Very, very strong. Just to get me nice little buzz before the game, you know.
While I pull it up, Tom, where are people talking from? Where are they coming at us from?
All over the place. We've got, let's have a look. Nick Swire Tommy says Kinsana, South Africa. Watch that, Nick. If you are in South Africa, that is, wow. Sonny Leytonstone, Ben H in Sydney, Cal Nort in Norway, TJ Peg 44 evening from Melbourne lads, Rex Hammer in Ipswich, Relax Ambition, another Aussie here. Apparently we're quite popular in Australia. Do we need to move over there?
Yeah, I feel like we should do a live watch along from like one of the places in Australia. I was going to name a city, but I do know a couple. Melbourne, there you go, there's one. But,
James Gunn says bottoms and shoveling sausages into mouth. What happened since the last watch along? Again, James, you just wait for kickoff, mate. Ben Davies in Hornchurch, Halifax, Dublin, Ireland from Luca. I don't know why I always do that when
you do.
Go out up the Dobbs, even though I've got a Drada shirt in my wardrobe. Gidea Park, says James Gunn. Barcelona, Dave Ben. Espresso machines are awesome, Dave. I'm all with you there. Knackered or Naked says, come to Perth, COVID free.
There we go. I'm sold on that. I'm sold.
Booking it now.
Booking it. Do I have the money to? Nah, but I'm coming.
Who else we got here? Kingston upon Thames. Nice nah. Is that Nick Swire says nice nah? Neisner. Oh, Neisner. Oh, okay. That's how you pronounce the South African thing.
You were just confused.
I was really confused there. Alan Stone says he's from the Philippines. Metal in both legs. Sunny Yorkshire. Or whereabouts in Yorkshire are you based? Metal in both legs. Because I'm also in Yorkshire. Eric is in Sweden, of all places.
But we got Sweden. We got Norway. Nordic represent today, and I like that. I like that.
It's hello from the Netherlands. Get it, Charlie? We're worldwide, bro.
Like Pitbull, worldwide, mate.
Worldwide. There's 100 of you that have joined. We're up over 100 viewers. So again, thank you for the first time today. If you haven't and you've just joined, don't forget to drop a like on the video. And we're nearing 1,300 subscribers. That's jumped massively, hasn't it? From last week. We've had a great week on YouTube.
We've got the little live sub count up there. And don't think I haven't seen it going up while we've been doing these watch-alongs, and we do very much appreciate. But let's go through the teams, Tom. I've got West Ham. Would you like West Ham first or Newcastle?
Let's go Newcastle first.
Cool.
Newcastle first.
Give me a split second then, because I pulled up West Ham, assuming that's what you'd say. Give me just what I've done there is I've made a mug out of myself, Tom. Is what I've done.
It's all right. I've just seen it. Fran Tandrick saying hoping for a stream not on Dutch TV because of F1 today. Now listen. I'm missing the Formula One today. I've just seen Lewis Hamilton's just been handed a grid penalty from the stewards or something like that, and I would like to be watching that, but obviously I have a duty to watch West Ham, unfortunately. But
I like Formula One, but West Ham first. So let's go through the lineup. So, do you know what? I'll just read out the entire lineup of Newcastle, and then we can get your thoughts on it. So
okay. Yeah.
So I'm reading it off my phone, everyone. I apologise. So Dubravka in goal, Kraft,
Great
Fernandez, Lascelles, and Manquillo in defence.
I was going to say Lacazette. When did he?
My brain auto-corrected.
Lascelles.
What we're seeing here is a problem with having the person read out their lineups. What's the word I'm looking for? Dyslexic. I couldn't even remember the word.
That's how dyslexic he is, everyone.
It's a problem. Midfield of Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelvey. Oh, okay. It looks more like a 4-2-3-1, but let's go with Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelvey. Mm-hmm. Then Alain Saint-Maximin, Miguel Almiron, and Joe Linton with Dwight Gale up front.
That Kraft, I'm not so sure. Maybe some success down at that right. Is he play right back, that Kraft, or is he?
I believe he's playing right back, and then Manquillo will play left back. Is my gut instinct.
Yeah, I've not seen a lot of that Kraft, so I could be completely wrong on that. But maybe some success down there at both flanks. I guess it depends who we have starting. No Fabian Schär today either. No,
so the bench is Darlow, Shah, Carroll, Richie, Yedlin, Lazaro, Danny Rose, Bentaleb, and Matty Longstaff.
Can anybody in the chat just tell us if there's any Newcastle fans in here, if there's an old man just circling round in a circle on his bike outside my house? So that's really off-putting. Can anybody tell me if that's the same unchanged lineup from the other day? I'd like to know. But because Schär must be out of favour with
he's not
Bruce,
he's not been great this year. He's not been great this year. Obviously, he had a great season last year. The great season last season. But this year he's just not quite hit those heights again. Which, is what it is.
Rick Ferguson, do your research. I would have done, mate. I've just been so distracted with my coffee machine. I didn't have time. Midfield, I think
these things happen. I believe if I was to take a punt, I think it is basically the same as last time. I know they did a bit of switching around last time. I'm trying to remember. No, I think that is the exact same lineup because Danny Rose didn't start, Yedlin didn't start, Lazaro didn't start. Yeah, I believe that is the same lineup. Now I think about it, because Dwight Gale started and Joe Linton was on the left. So
don't worry, Rick. I'm only joking as well, mate. It's okay. I never do research. So yeah, the midfield. I think our midfield. I think we've got a better midfield almost than than Newcastle's today. I'll be depending on whether or not we're playing 2 or 3 midfield as well. If it's the same midfield the other day and Noble isn't playing, then I would almost say that I prefer our midfield. I do worry sometimes about Shelby because, like I see, he blows hot and cold as well. He can be a world beater some days, and he always does actually seem to be a world beater against us when we play Newcastle. I think Newcastle's my most travelled away ground. I've been up there 4 or 5 times, and every time I see him play, he always seems to do well, no matter when the occasion is. He always plays well.
I think he's an all right player, but I just don't rate him that highly. I think he's one of those people who has.
He loves a game against us.
He does love a game against us, and I think he's one of those people who he has an incredible pass on him and an incredible shot on him, but he doesn't put it together into something super useful most of the time. So, like, I know there's a lot of talk about
he's brainless as well.
Yeah, brainless. And I know there's a lot of talk constantly about whether or not he would join us because West Ham connections and whatnot, and it's a very easy link to make. I don't know if I'd want him, if I'm being honest. In the squad, sure, but I don't.
Yeah, there's no Matty or Sean Longstaff today as well, which I guess is good because I guess that's the Newcastle fans love the Declan Rice comparison, don't they, for one of the Longstaff brothers, whichever one it was. So I guess that's a positive for us. That front three really
Sean Longstaff is not even on the thing, and Matty Longstaff is on the bench. So I assume Sean Longstaff is injured.
Yeah, that worries me though. Their front 4. Joe Linton maybe not so much, but Dwight Gale seems to be, for whatever reason, scoring for fun these last couple of games since the restart. That worries me. And Almiron seems to, before lockdown, just started to tick because I know he hadn't scored a goal in the Premier League since he'd arrived or something like that, and then he would seem to be scoring quite often. Probably maybe only a couple of goals, but they've got pace. I think that obviously is a worry for us.
Massively. And that's the thing with putting Joe Linton out wide, which is what he seems to have done. He seems to have put Joe Linton out on the left in the same way he did in the last game. I think that's
a big body as well.
It could make him a lot more effective than when he's up front and he sort of has to be the person at the end of everything. I don't think it quite works for him at the moment. He was playing in a front 2 in Germany, and that could be part of the problem. But now putting them out wide and leaving Dwight Gale to be the guy, which is weird, but it seems to be working for them.
I think what's funny is that Aaron Cresswell must be looking at that and thinking it's another really fast, pacey winger that I'm having to play against for the 3rd week in a row. My man's been having nightmares. Just a lovely like PJs, bananas in pajamas type thing. A nightwear. That's what that joke was, Tom. A nightwear, yeah. So yeah, that's I'm worried actually about St. Maximin. I absolutely love him as a player. I think he's an absolute. I mean, if you wear a Gucci headband when you play football. I know he obviously can't now because he's Newcastle.
You've got to live up to it.
You wear a Gucci headband when you're playing football. You're just I think you're goated, in my opinion.
What scares me, and we'll talk about it a bit more, I guess, in a minute. But what scares me about Newcastle is we tend to struggle against teams that sit and then counter attack, and we have done really since Pellegrini. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's any surprise that since the restart, the 2 games we've struggled with most are the 2 against counter-attacking teams, right? And Newcastle were very much a counter-attacking team. Steve Bruce is very much a counter-attacking manager, and you look at those players. I mean that's basically the fastest front 4 they could have put out on the pitch. Being honest about it, I don't think there's many faster people they could have put on. So that is a mild concern. But let's go to the West Ham team. Let's go to the West Ham team.
I think I will say that Cresswell seemed, dare I say, he played better the other night. He wasn't by any stretch of the imagination a world beater, but he played better against Chelsea than he had done the other 2 games. I guess that's saying something, really, when he was okay.
The temptation to scream, "The Father Ted, how dare you," after you said "dare I say it" is...
How dare you!
So, the West Ham lineup. Again, I'll read it out all the way through, and you'll see why when I say it. Fabianski, Fredericks, Diop, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Rice, Sucek, Lanzini, Fornals, Bowen, Antonio.
So unchanged then.
Unchanged lineup.
Worrying slightly for me. Before I would say the bench a second, worries me slightly just because a lot of those players put in a really hard shift against Chelsea, and then they're playing back again. And we know obviously with David Moyes' lack of subs that some of those boys are going to need a sub, and whether or not they get subbed especially Antonio, who, if everybody saw the interview after the game where he was just sat with Jeff Shreves or whatever, and he was like, I'm blowing. And it's like another 90 minutes of that today could be slightly worrying.
Although, to be fair, I'd be concerned if one wasn't blowing after 90 minutes of running.
Yeah,
I'd be like, who are you, Captain America? The subs bench is Randolph, Johnson, Balbuena, Masuaku, Noble, Wilshere, Yarmolenko, Silva, Ageti. So no Felipe Anderson and no Haller, who both miss through injury.
No Anderson as well. I guess he must have picked up an injury in training then or something the other day. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have risked Haller this weekend. I think obviously if we want him back fighting fit, I'd say for the next couple of games. So that one doesn't really bother me too much. I still wish that people would just actually accept that he was injured and not the rumours of him leaving.
But he's injured, and even if it doesn't make a difference. But the thing is if he was fit, I wouldn't play him anyway, because we've just seen it go very well for us without him, and I feel like he would be on the bench for me regardless. But B, if he's coming back from an injury, don't rush him. He's going to be vitally important for the rest of the running. We don't need to rush him and then end up him getting injured again for the sake of one game. You know what I mean? When we could leave it.
I agree. I'd rather have him for the remaining running, especially against like Villa and Norwich and games that hopefully we can pick points up from. I think is where I would rather have him. Interesting though, I thought Wilshere played really well when he came on the other day. I think both of us sort of acknowledged that we'd have liked to have seen Wilshere maybe start today. But sorry, as you can see, Maisie's just in the land of nod.
There you go.
Land of nod today for Maisie. I am in red shorts today. Lovely red shorts.
Love that.
I'm going to have to open the window in a second. It's actually quite hot here today. But I would think I would have liked to have seen him start today. Maybe not start, but hopefully Moyes brings him off the bench a bit earlier and we get to see him for a little bit more. Slightly worrying that he did almost pull up the other day injured after diving in for one of those first challenges. But then you get the plus side of Wilshere, which was the little tricks and flicks and through balls and stuff, and the creative side that some of our players don't have. He's just such a naturally gifted footballer. Just wish that we could see that for more games during the season, unfortunately.
It's difficult. It's difficult because what concerns me, I guess, going forward with Moyes specifically, is the fact that when he has mentioned and spoken about, like for example, he spoke about Yarmolenko in his, I don't know if it was post-match interview or an interview during the week or whatever, but when he spoke about it, he was like, yeah, he does it every week in training, he's always nailing that. And I'm like, okay, well then why aren't you playing him? What if someone's training well and doing exactly what you want in training, why are they not on the pitch when what is on the pitch isn't as effective as possible? And that sort of concerns me. Is like, Wilshere, I thought, had a good game, and I would have considered putting him on. I would have considered starting him. So then, but what does he have to do to actually earn that place? We saw the same with Fornals. Fornals got taken out for no reason. Was put in the cold for ages. Can we afford that in a relegation fight? I don't know. The win against Chelsea gives us some breathing room to an extent, but I don't know if we can afford to just leave people on the side willy nilly like Wilshere beat Yarmolenko beat whoever. Foe says Yarmolenko wasn't match fit. Charlie, shame with Wilshere. Fair, but they only get match fit by playing matches. But that is a totally fair point. That is a totally fair point. And to be clear, I wouldn't have started Yarmolenko. I wouldn't have started Yarmolenko in this game. I like the idea of having someone on the bench who can actually change things. And let's be real. I think I heard Gonzo say this earlier, so I'll give him credit. But let's be real. When Steve Bruce sees him warming up, it's going to be crap. We need to figure something out here. It's just about when he actually gets introduced into the game.
Yeah. Sorry, I was miles away there. I was
Sorry.
Just putting my AirPods on the iPad for the game. Well, I guess that's the lineups then, and we still have 20 minutes.
How do you feel? How do you feel now you've seen the lineups?
Yeah, let's get some score predictions in the chat from you guys today. What are you guys' thoughts? The other day I was really positive. I want it to be known on record that I was so positive before the game started, and I was proved right. So can we all just, for those, Mike asked me, or Mike said, who I know didn't mention in his fan cam after the game, Mike, when he was so happy that we won, told me that I was ill for suggesting that West Ham could beat Chelsea. So yeah, I got that one right, and I was positive for a reason. Today, not so much. I just think today's gonna be a really tough game. I think Newcastle have really come out the traps well since the lockdown. Somebody said that who was it I was talking to the other day, or somebody said about Steve, or might have been listening, saying that Steve Bruce has a point to prove because of all the talk with the takeover and stuff, and that he actually may want to show, look, I am the best man for the job here. I think he's done incredibly well with Newcastle. I really like him. I think he's such a nice bloke as well as a manager. But yeah, I think, I don't know, something about this game, we never really do too well up in Newcastle, as I said a minute ago. So I either think it's going to be a 2-2 draw or a 2-1 Newcastle win. I'm not sort of sure, but I'm not as confident as I was against Chelsea, especially because of the effort that the guys put in the other day against Chelsea. I think we may see maybe a slow start out of the traps. Today, unfortunately. So whereas I am confident that we'll score, and we did look so much better obviously the other night. I think somebody said it earlier on there about that there was what was it? Somebody did say it up there. Substitutions were going to be key in this game, and I think that's correct. I think substitutions will be key just because of the effort that we put in the other day. But yeah, slightly worried today. So I don't know. It's either going to be 2-2, I reckon, or 2-1 to Newcastle. I would bite your hand off at this point for a point, though. I think a point is massive for us today. Like I said, because we never do well at St James's Park. So point today, and I'd be a happy man, because I think that obviously pulls us a game or 3 points ahead of Watford anyway. So yeah.
Let's see what the people are saying. So we've got Neil. My prediction is 1-0 to us. I like this positivity. Snazzy Azzy 1-1. Bob Collison 2-1. West Ham. Nice. Starlight 3-1 loss. Sad face. Okay. Let's hang on before you say anything. Let's try guess what Tom was trying to say there. I'm going to say, oh, Charlie, you've got a nice beard. Was that what you were saying?
No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't, unfortunately.
I took a swing.
It was. Mike Monera's just popped up in the chat. Mike, I was just calling you out a second ago, saying that I was ill for predicting the Chelsea win. You said, am I ill? There's something wrong with me? Well, Mike, I didn't see you mentioning that in your fan cam after the game. So I'm just going to sit here. Actually, let me hang on. Let me just hang on.
Look at that pose. Just like Mr. Burns, just solidly satisfied with himself.
I'm just going to kick my feet up as well.
Kick him up. You deserve it. You deserve it for saying something. Foshizi says 2-1 West Ham. Metlin Both Legs says 18-0. I like that. I like the positivity. Never going to happen, but I do enjoy it. What we got? Franz Hendricks 1-1 draw, I think. Fair. I
think he's a Newcastle fan as well. So nice to see a Newcastle fan in the chat.
Good to see you.
How do you think that the game will go today?
Yeah, give us your perspective on the lineups. What you think the game's going to go today? We are interested. James Gone 4-1 West Ham. Cresswell hat trick. Impressive. Jeffrey Stelly, Snazzy, we'll get back to your question in a second. Jeffrey 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 score with Almiron scoring for them. Almiron's an interesting one. Lots of controversy, lots of different opinions on him. That's what I was going to go with there, because the word left my mind. I studied English literature. Actually, let's ask that question. Tom, does anyone else in your household support West Ham? It's a question for Snazzy.
Yes, my mum does. She
watches the watch along.
She did. After we finished the watch along the other day, she sat and watched the entire watch along.
What a G! What an absolute G!
So yeah, I do apologise. I know I've just looked because I wasn't sure what my camera was doing. I am a bit fuzzy at the minute. I'm hoping that will sort itself out. Sorry for anybody that is offended by a fuzzy camera. But yeah, no, my mum, my nan and my granddad, pretty much everybody in my family supports West Ham. It was just my dad's dad that supported Arsenal. So for whatever reason, it went wrong with my dad's dad, and my dad chose to support West Ham. So yeah,
swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts. What are you, Charlie?
No. My mum does through me. She'll like come on the boys for me, but my dad supported West Ham. But no one in my household does. It's just me and my mum. Jeffrey Steady 2-1 score of Almiron scoring. We said that one. Hammer and Mould not easy 1-0 to the Irons. Matt Taylor another 3-2 either way. Sam Zini saying 2-2. Lots of people agreeing with you. Tom.
Charlie, go to yourself a second. I'm just going to sort my internet out.
Okay.
One minute.
Hello, everyone. What else are we saying? Phil McDonald 2-1 to us. Bowen to score. Neil took 2-1. You know, Carroll will score. That's a big one. Will Carroll score? Because we do have good centre backs. We have good centre backs who can do big things, but it is a bit worrying. Knowing he could come off the bench when we're very tired. I always used to say it when he was with us, that he's like the ultimate impact sub, and he could come on and just do absolute madness. And we never really used him like that. Sorry if you see my massive cursor on the screen as well. I've got a lot of things on one screen. I apologise deeply for that. But yeah, it's not a bad shout at all. Any more? Nathan Glasspool 2-0 to us as bold. Mike Monero 1-1 my score prediction. CB, brother from another mother 2-1 the Hammers. Okay.
What am I saying? Am I a bit less pixelated now?
Let's have a look. Oh, crystal clear.
Is it?
Crystal, you look beautiful.
Okay. I'm apparently shouting at my mum turns internet. I'm joking, everybody. I didn't really shout.
I muted everyone, so they wouldn't have even heard you if you did. I muted you, sorry, so they wouldn't have even heard you.
Okay. You will see me in crystal clear HD in a couple of days.
I'm very excited for that.
My internet speed is going up through the roof. What's the next watch along we'll be doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever our next game is, I should be in crystal HD clear.
Let's take a guess. You ready for this? Burnley. Don't know if it's Burnley.
Man United?
No, Man United's the second last game of the season, and then the last game is Aston Villa.
Watford?
Could be.
Oh, no, people saying you just jinxed us. It's pixelating again.
Oh, you look good. Leave it. You look good to me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm knackered running upstairs. I really need to go try to lose some weight or something, you know?
Bro, I'll tell you what, I've been doing Ring Fit. I've been doing Ring Fit Adventure, the Switch game, the Switch fitness game. So, alright, let me show you this. You see this? And you put the ring on it, you squeeze it and stretch it and stuff. I'll tell you what,
That's for Switch?
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Why did I get rid of my Switch?
I've never experienced pain like it. I tell you what, my knees, because I've been doing bare squats with it, and it's a problem.
Neil Took says, have you had a makeover? No, I haven't. Although, like I said, I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, or the first watch along we did, I'd paid for you to see my hair, my bald head, a couple of weeks ago. It's slowly going back, slowly but surely. Somebody said, what's the weather like up north today? Would you like to see out my window? There you go. If anybody lives near me, what's he doing down there? That's the guy that was riding around in circles on his bike.
I don't know. I feel like you've just doxed all of your neighbours.
Yeah, but you couldn't see where I'm actually from. I apologise.
I won't go into
Don't dox me, anybody. No, I don't know how to deal with
dox me.
I don't know how to deal with doxing. 1 second. I was just going to say, there's 136 of you in there as West Ham Clips turns up. Actually, before I say what I was going to say, Clips, the other day, have you seen the alternative commentary from Clips on Twitter the other day?
From which one? I didn't see the Chelsea one. I did not see the Chelsea one. I saw...
If you've not seen the Chelsea one, just go and watch the Chelsea alternative commentary on Twitter. Clips, if you've got a link, we'll drop it in there and anybody can go and watch it quickly. Yeah. We will allow the link and whatnot. It is.
We will allow it.
Basmati, Billy Bonds, and what was the other one he said? It was something about Willian being the Brazilian something, or I don't know, but it was absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, really good. Anyway, yeah, no, I was going to say there's 130 of you in here now. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I see, like I said, we're nearly ticking up over to 12,300 subscribers, which is really nice of you. But yeah, if you haven't already, then please do like the video. Charlie, if you want to say anything about the Patreon?
I do. So before I do that, Lionel Argentina, subscribe and like the video. Cheers. Yeah, so our Patreon, basically, if you've watched any of our videos recently, you'll know, but July is literally the best month to ever be a patron there's ever been for us. We've got at least 20. If you're in the mild Hammerschak addict or above, the second one above that, mild Hammerschak addicts, you'll get at least 27 exclusive Patreon videos this month alone, just in July. So if you've ever thought about it, ever wanted to get involved, there's a link in the description. Go have a look. Go have a gander. And you'll get a chance to be on a podcast with me that I host called Two Spanish, One Hammer. It's myself and Ray Borum. Mike, actually, if you're still in the chat, can you DM me, please, on Twitter? I might do it to you now because I need to sort that out.
Oh, wait, yeah. That's today, isn't it?
That's why I need to sort it out.
I'm supposed to be stepping in, aren't I?
Yeah, if Ray's not about, you're meant to be. Something we'll deal with off stream. Yeah, thank you, and have a look.
If anybody is a Patreon member and you are currently in the live chat, you can do tell if anybody, if you do have it, that it's not just a waste of money, that there is good content in there. That would be good. I just seen, as I said, that Kevin Power just said it's worth the DOS quality content. Really appreciate that, Kevin.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, we did put a free video out there the other day just as a little taster. And Geo always does it. I think somebody commented the other day, which we really appreciated, actually, which was saying that we went as probably more in depth than some channels do in terms of the analysis of games and stuff. It's good in that respect. Anyway, enough Patreon talk. Yeah,
I'm just DMing Mike. So if you
could
for a second while I do that.
Yeah. Just looking there. Dave Ben said, "Did you guys go to the pub yesterday?"
No, but I don't drink in general, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, I do drink. Haven't actually had a drop of alcohol in what feels like forever. But yeah, I didn't, unfortunately. Got no mates to go to the pub with actually around here. Seeing if I was still in Leeds, like I was a couple of months ago, then most definitely, seeing as I worked in a pub there, I'd be working right now behind a visor and a mask. So yeah, can't wait to get back and have some beer. Jeffrey Stelly, he's having some serious issues here. Is Jeffrey Stelly with the bagel content, Charlie? I have legitimate concerns about chicken Caesar bagels, mainly how and then why. I feel like Charlie, when he's finished DMing Mike, this is the perfect one for you.
Right.
The best quality watch content on YouTube, talking about food mostly.
As I've dropped my phone at the same time. We're just professionals here. We're just big professionals. So bagels, right? Let's talk about it, because I think I want to see what was the exact quote, Tom? I'm trying to find it.
Rebecca and somebody else were doing it. I'm just going to watch the race start, by the way, in Austria. I do apologise.
Why you do that? Right. So basically, here's the thing. It depends. I think there's a lot of good things you can have in a bagel. Today, I had bagel toasted with scrambled eggs on top and a sausage, which was very nice, and baked beans, right? Very good. But if you're looking for it in a sandwich type setting, so what's inside? I think chicken's a great option. If I'm being honest with you, I think chicken's an excellent option. There's a bagel shop not far from me that does a killer chicken bagel. But yeah, I don't know. Chicken. You could get salami in there. There's a lot of things. Bagels are a utility food. They do a lot of decent things.
Quick question for anybody in the live chat: does anybody actually watch F1, or is it just me? I love motorsport. Franz Hendrick says Tom is watching two events, F1 and football. No, I'm literally just want to watch the race start because it is a crowded turn one in Austria, and I just want to see if Hammy can lead going into the second or third corner. I
don't know. Can I just say
who is on the Hammers Chat account
I was
right
about
now?
to say, I reckon it's probably Gonzo. I would suspect it's Gonzo. Because he says I do top. That means he watches motorsport, and Gonzo would watch it, whereas Gio I don't think would care. I watch Formula One, not as frequently as I should because I don't have Sky Sports Formula One, but I do watch it and I do like it.
I've literally got just 5 minutes before the game starts, so I should have enough time just to see the first couple of corners. I shall try and not spoil it for you. If my facial expressions, because I'm like this at the first corner. If somebody crashes or something, I'm always like. Something like this.
Guaranteed Gonzo on the Hammers Chat account, by the way.
Okay, all right. Afternoon, Gonzo. How you doing, mate?
Because Gio wouldn't humour me with wrestling references, whereas Gonzo actually would.
That's very true. I've just realised as well. I've just realised that we're gonna we can't be mean about Gonzo now. That's all we've been doing, Gonzo. We've been slagging you off for the last couple of weeks, and now we have to be.
Gonzo was the last one, bro.
Did he?
Yeah,
he did. He commented, didn't he? Yeah.
Just a cheeky comment.
Love that. No, we're only joking, Gonzo. Love that. Love you, really.
Gio never watches, so we could say whatever we want about Gio. But
screw Gio, man. Screw Gio.
I'm gonna say this. Gio, not 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. There you go. Just lob that one out there. Just lob that.
Ben Davies says, I used to watch Gone Off when Vettel kept winning. Yeah, I know. So did I. Except now Vettel's doing crap and he's been told he surplus requirements. So I'm a little bit like...
See, whereas I got into it when Vettel was really winning. Because, again, I didn't really watch it a lot as a kid. And then when it was that period when it was on the BBC and Jake Humphries was hosting, that's when I got really into it.
Jake Humphries, I'm sorry, but my mum went from CBeebies to Newsround.
Yeah.
To BT Sport Champions League presenter.
I know, it's impressive, isn't it? It's impressive.
How?
Isn't it? It's he just did bits. He just did bits.
Franz Hendricks. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted by F1 chat. Ferrari equals crap at the moment. So the question is, did they cheat before? I noticed that just because of how bad they went. Their engine was so good, Leclerc kept winning, and then he didn't win a single race. Was to get a podium after they had to change the engine, which I found was really interesting. So a little bit of cheap pokery, I think, going on underneath that. Starlight says, nice to see you giving these students a part-time job, hard paying off those fees. You don't even want to know the debt I am in. I went to university twice. So imagine how much debt I'm currently in. That's a story for another day. But
Whereas I didn't even bother going to uni, just got a job. Just went straight into accounting like it was nothing. Don't worry about it. I can add.
Yeah. I've just finished this year, Starlight. So, yeah, I'm in a lot of debt. I might move to another country.
So the teams are just lining up now, walking out, doing the claps.
For those who are on the different streams, the formation lap is just finishing.
You thought you were getting, listen, it's the two-prong setup. You've got football on this side, and you've got Formula 1 on that side. There's Formula 1 on that side.
Hey, that's 50k debt gang. What's up? What's up, 50k debt gang? Foe says, Tom, you're trying, mate. That's all that matters. Hey, listen, the mental health is a serious thing that probably needs a bit more discussion, but maybe not for Hammers Chat, but and another time for the discussion on it. But yeah, fair. It was university's it's a strange place sometimes. Anyway, time for football. and F1.
So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be with you through the entire game, half-time, rest of the game, and then just a little bit after full time, just a tiny bit while Gonzo gets ready for his review.
And away we go.
And then when Gonzo's ready for his review, we will spam it in the chat, so you can go and click on that, go watch his review, go see him do his bits, do his tings, and yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Bit of optimism, bit of fear, the whole thing going on. The thing is, Gonzo, Tom could be lying here. Nothing might have happened.
God. There's bits flying everywhere, foe. It's crazy, right? I'm joking.
Bits flying everywhere.
I've got a minute. Let's just see. Go on, Hammy. Oh, squeaky bum time. Hamilton nearly crashed. That's all I'm giving you, foe. He's lost some time there.
That's a great point, Clips. That's a great point. We will both likely be watching a car crash. These are accurate. It's an accurate statement.
Right. Let me get Sky Sports Premier League on so I can actually, because the crowd noise I think is crap. Right, here we are, Mikel Antonio.
Also, yeah, get Sky Sports Premier League because then we're as in sync as possible. Because I can't watch main event because I only have the Now TV Sky Sports pass thingy.
Hello. Actually, do you know what? I'm so pleased. Actually, 124 of you today joining us. I thought a few would dip off before the game started, but that's maybe we seem to be impressing and gaining more viewers week on week.
People they like vases. They like Formula One.
Oh yeah.
They like there you go, and they like fish cakes. You know, I think we've got the formula here. I think we've stumbled across an excellent formula. Also, Fo, I fully understand that I would too if Tom was spoiling Formula One for you. I apologise.
No, he didn't. He nearly did crash on corner on
Stop
the third.
saying stuff, you silly Billy.
He didn't. No, he didn't. He just tried to overtake.
That's equally a spoiler.
Eric Goldstein, can you apply a crowd noise to this stream? No, unfortunately not.
I did.
Unless we all just sat there like the Father Ted scene when it was like... Bloody hell.
I could apply crowd noise. I'll do it. Wait. Oh, yeah. I could actually genuinely add crowd noise if I wanted to. It's a lot of effort, but I could do. I genuinely could though. If I wanted to, I could add crowd noise right here, right now. I won't. I could also add a song. I could also add a cheeky little song, bit of a Madonna like a Virgin, for example. And the game is on the way. Kickoff has happened.
I did see that, Connor Matthews. I don't know what you called you, Connor Matthews. Connor, yes, I did see that, Connor. Did you see that, Charlie? Someone was having a quick cheeky tug during one of the games.
When I saw the word someone sitting naked in front of the camera, I thought they were talking about Bez's fan cam.
Yeah, there was a lot of nakedness going on there. No, somebody was literally having a tug whilst the game was going on.
You got to respect a man who knows what he wants.
These commentators are weird. Just simply for the fact that these are usually if you do have Sky Sports, these are the Sky SPFL commentators. Charlie, what second are you on right now? So we can just
37, 38, 39, 40.
We're literally in sync today. We're in sync.
We're in sync. Click off it, whatever you do. Don't click off
it. Okay. Gonzo, that is slightly concerning.
Well, you know, it's not the first, won't be the last. You know what I mean?
So if we're playing through midfield today, I do think that our midfield three will control the game better than as Maximin just sends someone for a burn. I do think we'll have a bit more control, a bit more possession in midfield today. Schizo Bay says he'll catch us at half time. Hope you're good. Yeah, nice to see you, Schizo Bay. Got your name right today as well.
There you go. You've learned. Also, I just want to bring this up. Don't judge. My glasses are completely broken. But I've not been able to go over lockdown and get them fixed. So, having said that, they have been broken like this for about a year. Again, don't ask.
Glasses gang.
I just thought I want to see, a bit more detail.
So Maximin, strangely enough, seems to be playing down the left. I know he can play both channels, but
I would have assumed Joe Lindsay would have played on the left like last time, but
Antonio wasn't even looking where he was going there.
It is probably better for us because Fredericks is just quicker.
Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult one. Like I said, I think that a lot of our struggles have come against teams who sit deep and counter attack, and Newcastle and Steve Bruce specifically are about as prototypical of that style as you like, with their quick front line and everything else. So that is a bit concerning to me. We're going to have to find a way to break them down. But they're not playing 5 at the back; they're playing 4, which helps us to a little extent.
Thank you, Seaside. Appreciate that. I'm not going to mention it this week. I'm not going to mention it. I think. Do you know what though? Today I think that it will be. It will hopefully be more of an even match than what we have seen so far.
Yeah. These are the sort of games where if you want to start getting up the table, they're the sort of ones you need to get points on the board for. Winning against Chelsea is all well and great, but if you can't get a win against Newcastle, then what are you doing in real life? Not like Newcastle are a bad team by any stretch of imagination, because I don't think they are. And like you say, Steve Bruce has actually done really well with them this year, but you need to get points on the board against these sort of teams in order to survive. Just good ball forwards. Antonio, nice work. Little flick to Fornals. Out to Bowen. This is where you want Bowen getting around the back.
Go on then, cut across.
Go on.
Oh,
Early goal.
Get in.
That's exactly what you want to see.
Oh,
perfectly worked. Perfectly worked as well.
Charlie, you give the analysis for anybody that's not watching.
Was that? I think it was. I want to say it was Fornals who played it in, but that's where you want Bowen. So the ball came into Antonio, and again that one-touch flick that worked for the third goal. And then Fornals or Lanzini, which one? Through ball through to Bowen, who's running down the right, driven across with his weak foot. I don't know which defender gets a touch, which ends up landing at the feet of Antonio, who's just stood there waiting, has the time in the world to take a touch and then just power it in. He might not even get a touch. That's brilliant.
Oh, that's. Do you know what?
That pass. Do you know what? Beautiful.
This is what we always. I'll tell you what, Jared Bowen, he's impressing so much right now. Apparently Maisie's outside my door crying. I'm going to have to let her in.
Let's get this full screen.
Come on then.
Yes, there we go. Tom, we all saw your boxes, but yeah, excellent work. Excellent ball. Bowen again. That's where you want him. You want him running in behind. He's got that. He's got the nice bent runs on him, and he does a really good run there. Fornals does brilliantly to find him. That's exactly the sort of spaces you want Fornals in, just behind, in that 10 role, being the guy pulling the strings, and then Antonio again, right place, right time, does absolute bits. Brilliant work. That's just a good goal.
Bowen for me, that is where he's at his best. We've said it for weeks on weeks now. That cutting in behind. The cutting in behind defenders, getting around the back almost. He's so good at that, and him and Antonio striking up quite a partnership as well, which is good.
Just gonna full screen you, Tom, just so we can all see Maisie a bit. There we go. Double celebration. We get the goal, and now we get a bit of Maisie. There you go.
You okay? Yeah, it's a good goal. It's a good goal.
There you go. We did also see your boxes when you got up.
You did? Oh, okay.
That's
all right. And my red trunks, even though they're swimming shorts, but all my other shorts are in the wash right now.
That's an excellent, but it's the perfect start. I mean, obviously, perfect start is getting a goal, but it means that Newcastle do have to be a little bit more adventurous to come at us. They can't just sit deep. Because although they're in mid-table sort of safety mediocrity, like you say, Steve Bruce does have a slight point to make here. If a takeover bid is happening, he's going to want to prove he's the guy. He's going to want to prove he's the guy to take him forward, and he needs as many points on the board and as many good results as possible. So they are going to have to be a little bit more adventurous. And you see, they've dedicated not an unheard of amount of people going forward there.
Sorry, she's about to bring me a present, just because. I'm sorry if anybody is distracted by the dog, but have you brought me a present? Have you brought me a present? I don't know. Does anybody else's dogs do this? I don't have a dog. She just brought me a blanket. She just dropped it because she wants me to play with her. But sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, what a great start that was.
And a great goal as well. Again, another really well worked goal. It was like maybe a bit of luck in the centre, but like outside of that, I mean, Fornals running into the space, the one touch layoff from Antonio. I mean, just good stuff. It's just good stuff.
I didn't see. I assume Declan Rice is skipping today. Excuse me.
I didn't actually see either, but I would assume. I think that's a safe assumption to make.
Right, you see, this is why you had to go out in the first place, is because you're going to start doing this. Right, there you go. Take your blanket. You will go out. You're distracting for the live stream. You're distracting. Yes. Yes. I know you want to play.
This is just the sort of content you're getting from a Hammers.
I do apologise.
I agree. Leave her alone.
Come on then, come here. You come jump up here. Come on, get your blanket and come up here. Come on, you come up here.
Hot takes from Miss Buffer. Yeah, exactly. You thought this was a 2-man stream? No, it's a
free person.
Exactly, it's a free stream team. So we're getting a replay of a possible handball there. The shot, it does hit off Ogbonna's hand, but it's about as close to his side as it's possibly going to get. So it'd be very, very harsh to get him one. But you've seen him given. You've seen him given. You've seen him given. Sorry, I just left you full screen for a while there, so people
that's fully
enjoy it.
Stupid Ogbonna, stupid.
Free kick in a dangerous area. Again, it's the sort of place where people could step up and swaz it, but you'll see. Yeah, it's just basic stuff from Ogbonna there. A bit silly, just hands all over him. I think I just saw Rice with the armband, by the way.
Hammer Down Under says, just to guess Tom doesn't have a partner, human one anyway. Yeah, unfortunately not at the minute, no.
Whatever gave you that idea.
Clayton says, was it a well-taken goal, or did Antonio look like he was going to miss it? Charlie, I'll let you do that one.
I think he did. Do you know what? He did well. Like, I think it was a bit lucky for the ball to come to him. I can't tell if the Newcastle defender got a touch on it or not to let it allow it to get to him. But once the ball was at his feet, he was composed enough to take a touch and then just blasted it in, which is what you want from that situation. Again, we saw with the chance earlier on against Chelsea where he dragged it, where you're like, oh, Dwight Gale free kicks, fine. Where he can flop those ones, but that was as good as you can get, really. Just absolutely pile drove it in. That's what you want. Didn't look like he was going to miss it. He just absolutely blocked it.
Yeah, bye, Mrs. Tom. She's so basically no. We got 3 years ago. Just before I was living back at home for a year. Before I was living in Leeds for 2 years, then I moved back home for a year, and then I've been back in Leeds for the last 2 years. So when I was back here for that 1 year, we had her. So we got her. So she's two and a bit, nearly 3. And yeah, so she's not technically my dog. She's my mum's. But she's love her still the same. I am the favourite, unfortunately. Oh, Antonio done well there.
Good, he did.
Yeah, hammer down under. Yeah, wrong wording there. Andrew Finlinson, beautiful dog, mate. We've got 2 reds. I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, I'll tell you, Fox Reds are just beautiful dogs. They are gorgeous. If you go hammer down under, so it's your sister, basically. Yeah, I mean, Maisie is a bitch, and my stepsister, love you, Hannah, can be a bitch.
We get demonetized now.
She's. If you look at my Instagram, you can see lovely pictures of Maisie. This is not a shameless self-plug. You do not have to follow me, but if you do like dogs and you would like to see photos of Maisie, Tom_Atherton1, and you can see Maisie.
It's not Athers 32.
No, because my brother stole that.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, this is a pain. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Bro, you messed up. The stream got completely messed up there where you did that.
I'm sorry. No, that wasn't me. It was Discord just crashed.
I was not prepared. I've not prepared a correct scene for that.
I'll put it in the chat for those who want to. Again, you do not have to follow me. This is not a plug. If you dog lovers want to see pictures of Maisie from when she was a puppy, yeah, you can go have a look. You do not have to follow me. It is not a plug. Just to let.
Saint Maximin, by the way, he just drifts past people. He's so good on the ball. I don't think he's as good as most other people just because of his products, but.
Ben, you can sod off. My brother's in the chat. You stole my username on Instagram. Tell me you didn't.
Good work.
So you put in shake in my head. You stole my username, you tool.
I back it, Ben. I back you. I want you on. Get Tom off. I want the real Athers 32.
Thing is, though, it's
a good opportunity.
Oh dear.
For Newcastle here.
He's offside. It's got to be.
It's fine. Yeah.
Surely.
It's fine.
There we go. Yeah, no, Kevin Powell, what a difference a win makes. We look confident, composed, quality so far. I want to pretend like I've been watching this whole time.
No, we have.
Slightly distracted.
We have, like, and a decent amount of one-touch football as well. So once we get in and around the area, I'm liking to see us, like, Antonio doing that one-touch layoff before the build-up to the goal. Like, everything else just... just a bit more composure, a bit more style. Like, we're not going out here swazzing them up, like, but having a bit more about us, playing a bit faster in those areas, which is something we've lacked for a long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. They. So somebody just put there. I have a dog walker business and it's super successful during lockdown. It's dead. Lucky I've other been. Yeah, I guess because everybody's had their the time really to take their pets out, haven't they? Gareth. Yeah. To be fair, though, Maisie's lucky. She gets 2 long walks a day. She needs it. So
I know
usually like 4 or 5
K's in the exact same position, Gareth. Someone who had a dog walking business who's just not tanked during this time period, because thankfully a lot of the people he was doing it for were older people who can't walk out and can't go out because of obviously the situation. But they've struggled a lot. Look, Starlight. Geo looks tiny. Give him the dog to act as a makeshift horse. Get him riding about like it's medieval just times. He's not. To be fair, he's not that short. He's about my height, and I'm about.
Bloody hell! Have you seen that? Points dropped when ahead. 22.
Yes, the most. Unsurprisingly, if we're being honest.
Stereotypical. What did Star say? Geo looks tiny. Give him the dog to act as a makeshift horse. Geo, yeah, he's.
As I say, he's not actually tiny. He's about my height, and I'm 5'11", 6 foot. So
yeah, they're both bigger than me for context. So
yeah, because Tom is small.
It's just Gonzo that's the small one. Sorry, Gonzo.
He's the shortest out of the 4 of us. But then again, Mike Monero makes us all look like borrowers. He's a mountain of a man. Pure unit.
just checking Gonzo was still in the chat, and he is. Hi, Hi, mate. You big man.
Just popping off.
Seaside Hammer, yes, Anderson is injured, it seems. Apparently he was injured in the warm-up, somebody said the other day. Maybe why he obviously didn't feature off the bench. Gonzo says he's a tall hobbit. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Tall hobbit, I'll take that.
Send a foul beast into the abyss. What is it?
Yeah, who was it? Was it Gonzo that tried the... I heard your Gandalf impression the other day. I was thoroughly disappointed, Gonzo.
Oh, bro, lob the abyss line in there, just real quick, Tom. Go on, you know you want.
Has anybody seen the Hobbit films? When it's right at the end of the first Hobbit film, and they come out of the well, I don't know what you call it. Like a cave just after you meet Smeagol or Gollum for the first time. I'm giving this such a long build-up. And Gandalf, one of the dwarfs says, "Out of the frying pan," and then Gandalf will go, "And into the fire." Oh no, but it's not even that one, is it? What
I want the abyss line.
That's it. When they're on the top at Minas Tirith. That's it. And the orcs are just about to come, and it's send these foul beasts into the abyss.
That's the one. There you go.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Speaking of abyss,
it's that man I said that seems to just keep scoring at the minute.
It's a well-worked goal by Newcastle, to be fair.
He's their top scorer this season, my word. Very similar to us.
They worked it fast. They're quick passing around. Dwight Gale controls it, plays it out wide. And again, they just kept looking wider and wider. And then
Cresswell came in really.
They've clearly been told to be as tight as possible,
as
compact as possible. And
which then is on Bonner or Diop to be
Kraft with the assist, and then
it's a great ball. It's a well worked goal.
Very well worked goal. Good pass across the box, and Almiron, similar to Antonio against Chelsea, just reacted best to it. Put himself in a great position. You want one of your centre backs getting there, neither do. It's in that no man's land where the goalkeeper feels a bit guilty, not guilty, but a bit nervous coming out and getting it.
Yeah, 2-1 versus 1 down our left. That was not That's never good, really, is it? Especially when it's down our left-hand side. But it was a well-worked goal. But obviously Cresswell had been told to come in tight. You could see that because there's no way that... Oh, my goodness me. We just need to... Just don't be typical West Ham and fall apart here. Try and keep it together.
What you've got to look at, right, is how quickly they sprung out for that goal and how quickly they played the ball about. And that's what I'm saying about counter-attacking teams against us, is we just can't deal with pace very well. And I'm talking about pace in a running sense, but also pace in a passing sense. And what we saw there was they passed it very quickly, and we were all at 6-67s with not a lot of organisation. The defenders weren't in bad positions, to be fair to them, but it did mean that the cross was allowed to come in, and then Almiron reacted better than either of the centre-backs for a goal. And it makes sense. And that's sort of what we've got to be careful against teams like Newcastle.
Yeah, maximum going for it from 40 yards out. Franz Hendrik 1-1. Yes, you stepped away for a bit. You came back and you scored. Yes, or you're watching slightly delayed to us both. In which case, the goal. Slightly delayed in that respect.
But it is what it is.
But yeah,
Franz, again, thank you for joining us. We will be looking to you as the game goes on for your input from a Newcastle perspective, so we appreciate it.
Oh, Arabic channel he's on, that's why I guess he's very delayed. That's fair enough.
I definitely don't know what you're talking about. I've never lived that life.
I only ever use normal streams.
I pay for Sky Sports all of the time. I mean, right now I am. Well, Hammerstad's paying for it, but, still.
Not my one. I paid for the monthly pass on Sky Sports.
No.
So I get all the sports. Oh, why has that happened?
That was dangerously close. I was pooping myself a mile.
Bloody hell. We're under the cosh here, Charlie. We are under the cosh.
We are. And the early work is sort of dissipating slightly. Antonio's going back to being mad isolated, and we just...
They are creating a lot of space down the flanks. Oh, he's wasted that. Part
of the problem when you do play so compact as we are now is that if your wingers or someone isn't filling in at those sort of fullback gaps, bloody hell, that was close.
That ball has just got so much swerve on it. That's nearly
Swaztekers. If you're playing fullbacks that are playing as compact as we are, and you don't have either wingers or midfielders or whoever to fill in that gap, it means you're basically giving up the entire wing to your opposition, which I understand to an extent, because obviously Newcastle are playing. They've not really got much aerial dominance right now up front until Andy Carroll comes on, obviously. But right now they don't really have that. But then when you're in a bad position and you get a low cross across the box like that, it behooves to have a player like Almiron or Dwight Gale who have a bit of pace and good positional sense to get into that space and just tap it in, similar to Antonio's against Chelsea.
Yeah, and I know Newcastle do their attacking. How are we allowing Dwight Gale through there? Well done, Fabianski, kick off his line. They do have good attacking fullbacks to Newcastle, and they do like to get forward. I mean, Lazaro, Yedlin, they are pacey. I know they're not playing at the minute, but I think Newcastle.
Mankio's pretty quick. Manprio's pretty quick. Kraft, much for muchness, but Mankio is pretty quick.
I think what my point was, I think they are told to get forward, unlike potentially ours. Sometimes every time they seem to go forward and they get into that opposition third, the wing backs do seem to bomb on, or not wing backs, but the full backs do seem to try to bomb on and create that extra man. Unfortunately, it is Lee 45. This is all Newcastle now. It is. I'm quite happy. Look, if it takes the sting out of the game a little bit, slows it down. Get to the water break in a minute. 1-1. I'd have taken that.
It's disappointing given some of the stuff we were creating, but it is all Newcastle.
You see there, just like, I mean, obviously I know myself and Charlie a little bit behind everybody else if you're watching, but Kraft there is very, very high up the pitch there on the right hand side, which I guess is a good for us. In terms of there may be that space in terms of counter attacking and stuff like that. It's just about sort of getting on the ball a bit more. Unfortunately, I did say before the game, I thought that we as a midfield would seem to not dominate, but do better potentially against their midfield. But they're seeing quite a lot of the ball at the minute, unfortunately.
Yo Mama 4547. First of all, excellent username. I enjoy that. Yo Mama, I like that. My kind of thing. Secondly, welcome. Come get involved. Make sure to like, subscribe while you're here. If you're a Newcastle fan, similar to Franz is, we're going to be looking for your input. We're going to be looking for your input from a Newcastle perspective at half-time. You know, just as the game goes on, we want to know how you're vibing, how you feeling. Welcome, my friend.
I think that this water break has done us the power of good. I tell you what, though, the good thing is let's not all dip and just panic, because I know a few of us will be worried. Let's not panic yet. We did create a brilliant chance, and it will happen again. We will get another chance. So we will. We will. We're not out of the woods yet. We've scored a goal. All right, it's better than it was the first couple of games. All right, we looked positive the first 10 minutes, and then we West Hammed it. So
yes. Yeah. Also, yes, friends, we would be monitoring in a sense, because the thing is we look at it from a West Ham perspective. Obviously, we're a West Ham YouTube channel. We both support West Ham. Most of the people in the chat support West Ham. But I think it's always interesting to get the opposition fans' perspective, because just looking at the same situation from two different angles, you know, bit different. So we are interested. We had a Chelsea fan in the last one, in the Chelsea match, who stuck around all the way to the end. Fair play.
I once blocked the toilet in Shearer's Bar at St James's Park. Little fact for you all. Last time I went to St James's Park, I didn't incite a riot, but there was nearly a massive scrap on the way to the ground. We left the pub early, and I'm in no way affiliated with the ICA and all those people. I think I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got to Newcastle quite late, came out of a bar, and it was the police walked us straight past the home supporters pub, and we got bottlenecked outside the ground, and there was just lots of Newcastle fans, lots of the hardcore West Ham fans, and just me. So it was like, yeah. Last time I went, it was interesting, interesting to say the least. Some passionate fans up there in Newcastle.
Well, we also know someone who almost incited a riot single-handedly with a fan cam at Newcastle once.
I didn't even know him at this point, but I walked past him as he was giving the fan cam, and it is hilarious.
Something else.
Somebody saying that he was like Yo Mama said that he's from the Toon. Yeah, I appreciate that. Saying he's subscribed. I appreciate that, my guy.
Thank you, Yo Mama.
Bloody hell! I just seen the subscriber count. We've just tipped over 12,306.
We have. Thank you very much,
if you've been subscribing and liking the video, all of you are just looking. I'm just looking at if you've liked the video, subscribe during the stream. It's really appreciate every single one of you for doing that. It's really nice of you.
It's nice having a live subscriber account, because you can see actively. Yeah, it's nice. It's just a good thing.
It's just good.
And then you see it go down occasionally. You're like, fair play. That's fair. We do chat rubbish, but you know.
We try to make these watch-alongs enjoyable. You know, we are balanced in our assumptions. We keep it usually family friendly, so we're not sitting here effing and blinding.
Try to.
That's soft. That is soft.
It's soft, but again, it's what you want from St. Maximin. Just picks up the ball from halfway line, just starts absolutely driving. No one's even close to him, apart from Declan, who just has to sort of at some point commit to a challenge, and he doesn't really do much to him, but that's what you want from him. He's taking the ball. He's in American football sense, Tom. You know American football, I don't. He's taken the ball, and he's progressed a lot of yards there.
He has a first down. Somebody said there, I think it was Yo Mama, said Brucey just trying to prove his worth before the takeover. Hey, I did say before the thing started, he did have a point to prove. Bless you, my guy.
Thank you.
He did have a point to prove before the new owners potentially came in. But I like him as a manager. I think he did. But I'm only just down the road from Hull, so I went to see a lot of Hull games. Sometimes when it was like a free ticket and stuff. Don't think I was going to watch Hull every single week as a fan, but it was easy for me to get tickets, and I wanted to sometimes go watch football.
My cousin who goes to uni in Norwich, who I infected to be a West Ham fan, he goes to watch Norwich games quite a lot, because obviously there's tickets available. It just makes sense.
Great punch, Fabianski. Yeah, I think sometimes it's just like you always want to watch. If you're close to football and you can't get to your teams, it's who's closest kind of thing. One place I'd never went to though was when I lived in Sheffield. I backed onto Bramall Lane, which was very awkward for me, seeing as obviously massive West Ham fan, and I had like scarves and stuff which are either side of my thing here were in my windows, so it was really awkward having to listen to Greasy Chip Butty every single weekend. So yeah. By the way, if you see me sniffing this, it's Olbersoil. I've got hay fever, and
as do I, hence the sneezing.
I've been really bad. Yeah, I've been really bad the last couple of days. Jeffrey Stelly asked, Tom, who's your NFL team?
Do you have a team, or do you? Because I know you watch it, but do you just watch it, if you see what I mean, as opposed to supporting a specific team at all?
NBA, I have a team. NBA is my.
Can we just say the action areas that have just been shown up last 10 minutes? 6% of the time being in Newcastle's attack last third, and ours has been 48.
Hey, listen, for everybody saying things that are on my... yeah, give me your suggestions. What is on my tissue? Even though we know it's old soil. I don't know. I don't really have an NFL team. I just love watching the NFL. If there was a team that I preferred watching, the first ever match in the NFL I ever watched was Green Bay versus Pittsburgh, and my girlfriend's dad at the time. This was when I was 14, not 14. This is when I was 15. So 10 years I've been watching the NFL. Basketball a bit longer. But my girlfriend at the time, her dad was a lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I was like, oh well, I want to go against whatever he supported. So I always kind of looked out for Green Bay. But yeah, I kind of self-taught myself the rules for playing Madden, and obviously watching Red Zone every single week and stuff like that. To now, with a point where I feel like I could give my opinion on it if I would like to, but I don't, because I feel like I would annoy a lot of Americans.
Whereas you're much more, I was going to say baseball, basketball you are into. Like, who's your basketball team?
Miami Heat.
Okay.
In Miami Heat. I do not want any plastic fan type stuff. 82 games in a regular season I've watched for about 5 or 6 years straight. I watched every single regular season game. I watched every playoff game. I was watching like 100 odd games a season, and I was staying up until like 4 in the morning, sometimes 5, 6, depending on if it was East or West Coast. So I was very dedicated. I used to play basketball. I was a coach, as Charlie will tell you. I was a official referee and scorer.
He's got a certificate and everything. He's got a certificate and everything. He can run a scoreboard officially, and it's all above board. It's a good ball.
Good ball. Oh, that is a fantastic ball from Bowen.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? My brother's in the chat. If my brother can just confirm that I would stay awake until like 6 in the morning sometimes. He would just wake up in the middle of the night, and I would just be sat watching basketball just randomly. Anyway, yeah, clogged nose, friends. I've got hay fever. My brother says yes, can confirm it was annoying. El Jazz says, hi guys. What do you think of Felipe Anderson, and what do you guys think is missing in the West Ham team? Charlie, do you want to go that first?
I like Felipe Anderson. I know that's probably a slightly dirty thing to say at the moment, but I do like him. I don't think he's anywhere near in form, but I think on a technical level he's one of, if not the best player in our squad. But he's just got so much talent, it's kind of absurd.
Oh
Jesus! Follow up? Oh, okay.
Oh, we've just both caught off guard by that. Oh, that is a fantastic save from
This is good. The water break's done us good. We've sort of taken the pressure a little bit off us.
We've regrouped ourselves.
We grouped, but again, we need to make sure we don't just give away silly free kicks to St. Maximin. I think he's very, very good. But his problem is that he's just not got the form. That's kind of why when he was at Lazio, he was known as the 12th man, and that's because he was on the subs bench most matches.
Space for Dwight Gay. Oh dear.
We're good.
Oh, well done.
We're good. He was on the bench most matches, but would be the first guy to come off it, and that's sort of why he was used there. He has all of the talent in the world, but he needs the right manager to come and get it out of him. I don't think Moyes is that man, as we've seen once Moyes sort of is done with you. He's done with you. He's not a sort of guy who I've never at West Ham seen him put his arm around someone and resuscitate them after they've gone down underneath him. Obviously, Arnautovic he took up to a higher level. Lanzini he took to a higher level, but that was a different scenario. What's wrong with West Ham is the owners.
No, he says, what do you think is missing in the West Ham team?
Good owners. We're getting a more functional midfield, but for a long time it's not been functional enough. For example, if you look at Liverpool, who get a lot of stick for having a midfield that's not that good, that's deeply incorrect because it's hella functional and works brilliantly, and is part of the reason why they're so effective. We don't get the ball consistent enough from midfield into good attacking areas. We all too often rely on individual skill. One of the things I've liked in the last 2 games is we seem to have done that a bit better, but that is a problem with midfield. But we're getting there. We're getting there. What about you, Tom?
My dad hates Felipe Anderson, as I'm sure my brother will attest. He just thinks he's very lazy. Although I did see today, it probably would pain him to see that Anderson is our most creative player I see this season still, even though it's not been on form. So the talent is there. I just think he has blown rid. Don't shoot, Antonio.
Some robust challenges there. I like
Great challenge from Fredericks. Needs to do more of that. I think there's a fantastic player inside of him. He just needs to unlock it more consistently because he's clearly good enough. Another good challenge. Craft there. What do I think is missing in West Ham team? Decent fullbacks.
Yes.
Is my biggest thing that we're missing at the minute. Jeffrey Stelly's a Who Dat Nation, a big Drew Brees fan. How's that going to be? Massive target on his back this season, Jeffrey, after his comments on the Black Lives Matter stuff. Wouldn't surprise me if he took a few big hits. XC Tommy says, yo, common you irons. Common you irons indeed, Tommy. Eric Olstead says, go on, Mikel. He doesn't actually say go on, Mikel, but...
Again, we're getting a good period of pressure here.
The war breaking the world of.
That's a great pass again. 4 Nows, man, he's so good.
Oh, Lanzini got off of that. Oh, unlucky.
4 Nows, man. Can we just say 4 Nows is doing bits right now? Every time he gets into these decent positions, he's finding really slick, incisive through balls. Again, a second time there. He did it for the first goal. He's done it again there. That's the positions you want him in, not out wide where he can't be as effective. Yeah. You want him in that central position, pulling the strings.
A Spaniard with a great footballing brain. Yeah. He's fantastic.
Go now. Thank you, CB. Thank you.
Eric says same from the NBA life in Europe is tough. Tell me about it. I used to go to bed, wake up at 1 a.m, and then go to bed at like 5 or 6, depending on being a West Coast game, and then have to be up an hour later for college and stuff.
Bro, I'm not going to bring into it. Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, Charlie as well.
It's
tough. It's tough, especially if you do like the American sports.
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, pay-per-view. It's just the problem.
OKC fan as well. Hey, I do like Sam Presti as an owner, but although he's traded away some valuable assets, but you do have like the entire 2022 NBA draft. I'm pretty sure, in terms of picks, trying to get LeBron James' son. I'm really behind on the chat. That's a foul, is it not, ref?
Yeah.
Dwight
Gale, the one doing it as well. Very deep. Newcastle's front man.
Do you remember when he got sent off for Crystal Palace that year? We beat them, and he walked off the pitch like crying his eyes out. And he just got sent off against us.
That was maybe the clumsiest coming together you're going to see in a while. Mikel Antonio sort of wobbling through. Dwight Gale with a challenge that can only be described as a striker's challenge. I mean, no defensive player in their right minds would go into a challenge like that.
Hammer down under again. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Anderson is a complete waste of space and money, far too lightweight, not a Prem player. See, I thought he was lightweight, but if you watch the goal he scored against Newcastle last year when he bodied one of the defenders and slotted it under the keeper's legs, I think he proved that game that he can.
I think when people say lightweight, I think the easiest thing to say is it doesn't go in for 50-50s enough, and I think that's probably a fair comment. But I don't know if I'd call him lightweight, just because, like you say, he can occasionally shrug a man off. But what a phrase I've just said out loud. But the 50-50s, he just gives up on him a bit too easily at the moment. Especially right now when his confidence is low, he just dips out of it constantly.
It's frustrating. That's all it is. I mean, he's like Marmite to some fans. He's
getting a good chance.
Yeah, I mean, hammer down under, and I think he's just left to go for a wee and a smoke break. But I would disagree with you. I understand why you would say that. The only thing I would disagree with is because, I'll tell you what, Sir Maximan is going to get one of those chances later on in the game, and he's going to rip it top bins. But
that's the thing with him is he's not consistent. He's not a great finisher, is Saint Maximin. He's not got tons of end product, but he's a bit like Adama, where he creates so much just because of how powerful he is. So
yeah, I don't believe is Isaac Hayden gone down. I think he's not lightweight anymore. I think when he first came to us, he was a little bit, but I feel like he adapted to the Premier League and the sort of toughness of it, I guess. And that Newcastle game specifically, that goal he scored, it told me at that time that he had come to speed with the Premier League and was just haven't seen that.
Big Kev dog on the bench doing bits. Clayton, can I just say, Clayton, how was Anderson lightweight? Wasn't he our top tackler last season? Yes, he was. And I think the lightweight comes from the idea of him not going out 50-50s, but he's actually a very adept tackler. There was a reason why at times for Lazio he was playing as a wing back, and that's because he can actually do those things.
Somebody said the Seaside Hammer Snodgrass injured. I think he's done for the season, isn't he? Snodgrass.
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah, it's not been confirmed, but we think he might be done for the season. Eric Golster says you need to start a Hammer's Chat NBA podcast on. Hey, I started one on my own for my uni, but didn't go so well. Just because there's not enough listeners, do you know what I mean? One day when I'm a journalist, that was always my intention, was to be. I wanted to be something for the NBA, but in the UK, I always loved the idea of that.
Tom, I'm gonna leave it on you for a second because I really need to pee. I apologise.
Oh, okay. Oh dear, you're leaving me with the live stream. My word.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay, no worries. Right, let's talk about everything other than football, guys. Charlie's away because I know we do the same thing with wrestling. There's a lot of NFL chat going on in the chat at the minute. Yeah, so if you are just joining us, myself and Charlie, we are doing the watch along today for Newcastle West Ham. Still 1-1, 40 minutes gone, 5 minutes till half time. Fran's asking how's the F1. I don't know, mate. I've switched off. I myself will catch up afterwards, like Fo did. Ollie asks, what's your thoughts on Lonzo Ball? Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble if I'm constantly talking about the NBA. I would say that he is a baller, Ollie, and he, I think, is enough talent to go number one overall, 100%. Although there are quite a good few players in that draft class. What's his face? The junior who went off to North Carolina, I thought would be number one consensus pick. Well, he was, I know that much. I cannot for the life of me remember his name. I know his dad played in the NBA, and for the life of me, cannot remember his name right now. But he went to Oak Hill, I think, and then on to North Carolina. Crazy athleticism. Any boxing fans on here? Kevin, yes, I'm a massive handball. Is that? Not so sure. Any boxing fans on here? Yeah, I know Gonzo and myself, in terms of Hammer's Chat, are massive boxing fans. I've got some fantastic boxing books actually in the cupboard, Kevin, that I've been reading. We may get them out at half time. I always listen to my dad in that respect. My dad is a massive boxing fan, and got me into the boxing side of things. Especially for his, he liked the older fighters. So I was very keen on watching middleweights. So like the Durans, the Haglers, the Hearns, those kind of guys. I think I've got. Now the Charlie's back. I can.
Is that boxing?
Yeah, somebody was just asking about boxing.
Any football fans here? Me. Come on, you football.
So very, very rarely do I. My boxers come on show again. Very rarely do I read books. I'm not a books guy.
Very rarely do I read books. What a sentence.
Yeah, my dad got me this. And I know my brother's probably cringing right now, but yeah, one of the best books I've ever read, learning about Mike Tyson. And that was when I first started, I would say, getting more into boxing.
Did he write that?
Yeah, or a ghostwriter, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely. If you've ever wanted to read a boxing book and you haven't read this, do. It's fat, I know, but it just takes you inside the mind of
a concerning individual.
Yeah, he's brilliant. For some reason, I have the Fabulous Four DVD here, the Hearns, Hagler, and all those guys. Roberto Duran, again, one of the great books I've read. Manos de Piedra, Hands of Stone, great book if you've not read. And again, Four Kings, which was about that middleweight era. So yeah, it's like I said, I was brought into boxing by my dad, who loved all the older style of boxing and fighters and stuff like that. So, Kevin Powell said, do you go ringside to any of the fights? I've been ringside for Dillian White's last 3 fights of the O2. Quality book, that, by the way. Yeah. I have. I've been to what was it? 2 of Joshua's fights with my dad. Your call a few times with my brother and stuff like that.
Love that.
Charlie's been for different reasons
to
me.
Come on. I was ringside for Keith Lee versus Tomohiro Ishii. Your call. Thank you very much. 5-star match. Put that on there.
I was there for what's his face? His kid. My dad will be hating me right now because he's bloody hell, what's his son called? The Destroyer. What am I on about?
Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali.
Why is his name just
Joe Calzaghe?
Ben. No, stop it. Nigel Ben. When we were there for Conor Ben. We were there for Conor Ben. So yeah, my dad's favourite fighter was Nigel Ben. Miggsy is giving a brutal assumption there, Charlie, about wrestling not being a sport. Is that something for half time?
Listen, no, we'll say it now. Learn how to spell wrestling, then we'll talk. No, here's what I'll say, Miggsy. Wrestling is one of the most demanding things possible. It's not a sport in the traditional sense, because it's not competitive in the traditional sense. However, when you're talking about athleticism, there are very few things as athletic as wrestling. Boxing is great. They don't do backflips and dance and do everything else on top of it. So, if you're talking about pure athleticism...
Oh, Charlie, I've just seen the live chat. There is people. There is some strong opposition to your thoughts in the chat about wrestling.
I don't mind. It's one of those things. It's a bit like Mick. It's a bit like Anderson.
Oh, so Maximin is down.
It's one of those things. But I understand fully what wrestling is.
Down as well as St. Maximin.
And it's a beautiful art form.
Is this how we're winning today? Is it just by smashing the opposition out of the way?
I will take it all of the way. I'll take it all of the way.
Somebody asked us, are we watching the game today? We are. The live chat's been brilliant today. We've been a bit distracted because we've been interacting with you guys in the live chat.
Well, I've been watching it all. I'll say this. I think the first half before the water break was sort of 50-50, probably more. You'd probably give it more to Newcastle. They had created a lot more chances, I felt like, when they were camped in our half. But we did get a couple of opportunities here and there. We did obviously get the goal, which was very well worked. Their goal was very well worked as well as ours. I think since the water break, it's been again mostly us. But at the same time, it's sort of a 50-50 thing. I think, as it goes, I would say 50-50.
Yeah. We will get back to talking football at half time because, as we know, a large influx of viewers come in at half time to see our opinions. So we can't be talking about wrestling at half time.
But I'll say this about wrestling: it's. I understand why people don't like it, but I also think if you give it the right chance, you'll get there with it. But it's if you watch some specific things like WWE, for example, at times it does come across as ridiculous and silly. Whereas if you're more of a serious person, maybe you like New Japan more. Maybe go watch some Okada versus Kenny Omega. Watch some Okada Minoru Suzuki. Some big boy matches. Tanahashi, Zack Sabre Jr. These are big matches.
If any of you, I'm pretty sure what's happened with St Maximin is that he seems to where oh god, it's Andy Carroll. Please don't come on and score the winner. The injury, if you want to say, looks almost like he opened his knee ligament up a little bit. If anybody's played football or played any sport, and you twist it awkwardly and the knee ligament opens up, leading potentially ACL tears and stuff like that. But if that knee ligament opens up, my word, it hurts. I think all of us that have had that injury can. Not being nice.
Again, see here, we've got a lot of people in good positions to actually do something. It's just about.
It's very jarring injury. Is what I would say.
Yes. I suspect they'll give him till half time and then assess it fully at half time. Seeing as we are on the verge of half time now.
I'll tell you what. Again, shout out to you guys. 12,310 subscribers.
Thank you.
14 subscribers.
Done bits.
If the half-time whistle will go now, that would be fantastic.
Let us know, Franz. I see you're still here. Let us know what you think. Half-time perspective from a Newcastle perspective. Any other Newcastle fans? I think the rest of them left, but if you want to give us your perspective, then do.
I imagine that will be half-time. Obviously, with the injuries, do you know what? I'll take that. I'll save my opinion for when a few more guys come in there, but I think we would all take 1-1 at half-time.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll take 1-1. I think it's one of those things where you could have made an argument that if we had a more sustained pressure, then we could be up. But then at the same time, they've had long periods of where they've just been camped outside our box as well. So I think when you look at it in those terms, you look at it realistically, I think 1-1 at half-time is both fair and a decent enough result. And it gives you something to build on. We saw against other teams we've stepped up in the second half as well, at the beginning of the second half. If we get that, then that's a big thing. That's a big thing for us.
Just while people sort of flood back in for half-time, go full screen. I'm just going to quickly nip to the toilet and then we can talk about the first half, all right?
Yeah, I think it's decent. I think it's decent. How do we all feel? Let us know in the live chat how we feel about that, because I'm okay with it. Not ecstatic or anything, but I'm like, okay, something to build on. And again, we've got the people like Yarmolenko on the bench who we know can come on and have a big effect. Be it Yarmolenko, be it Wilshere, who can come on and have a big effect on the team. And Steve Bruce knows that just as well. So if that were to happen, I mean, but that's the thing. So let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. Hands down under my perspective is slightly blurred because I'm pissed. Fair, mate. Franz, who of course is a Newcastle fan, if you're just joining us, each time they went there, you looked rather weak-ish and vulnerable. When stretching that part came the other end, yeah, I agree. Bit there, exploiting that gave some chances in the centre, but the defence should be tight, I guess. Fair. I agree with that, to be fair. Nick Thompson, we not been great IMO, we have a better team. That's a fair point. It's an interesting point. I don't know if I'd say we have a better team, but we have the potential to be better. I would say that, because you look at their results compared to ours, they're a much more functional team. They might play a lot better than us in that sense.
Hello,
Dory. You're up, Dory.
Okay.
Happy with 1-1. We look to attack and look decent in defence. Migsy, yep, fair. Mike, yeah, okay. Mike, I'll get back to you on Twitter in a minute. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, a lot of you. I hope you wash your hands, Chris Pancoin. Of course, I washed my hands. Of course, I did.
Especially in these times. Come on, wash your hands.
I know. 140 of you. I only do this sort of 2-3 times a game. Well, I say 2-3 times, 3 or 4 times a game. But just because there are an influx of you here at half time, if you haven't subscribed already or liked the video, please do. Really helps us out. Get those 5 dislike naysayers away. No, it really helps us. Really appreciate it. Obviously shows Gio and Gonzo both that these watch alongs are worth doing. And I know, again, a lot of you will disappear at half time to go back to the game.
Fair enough.
But if you can do one thing before you get back to the game, just drop a like or subscription on the video. Be really nice.
And again, if you haven't already, now is the best time to be a patron there has ever been for Hammers Chat. There is a link below, 27 exclusive Hammers Chat Patreon videos throughout the entire month of July. If you're a mild addict or above, which are our tiers, you can have a look. But that's all we'll say about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, thoughts. I thought we were really impressive those first 10 minutes. I was really impressed with us. The way we were playing quick, short, sharp football seemed to carry on from the Chelsea game, which I was quite surprised at. I thought that we would come out of the trap slow. So to see us come out and look positive for those first 10 minutes was really good. Obviously, it was a great ball in behind from Fornals. I think Fornals next season, under maybe different circumstances, will be brilliant for us next season. I just think that boy has so much talent. Is ridiculous. His passing ability is second to none. Bowen with a great run in behind. We've stated it all season that's his best thing is running in behind defenders. Those diagonal runs across the back four to create himself some space. Slight cock up from the defender. I think it might have been Lascelles and Antonio, thankfully, who was less than 5 yards out from goal with an easy tap in, which is obviously the best thing. However, then the wheels came off, I think, Charlie, at that point, which I guess we could say to be expected. Almost just like I said, that's how I expected the start to be. I did not expect us to get a goal in that first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wheels sort of came off, didn't they?
They did. I mean, it's unfortunate because, like you say, we were really camped in our half for a while, and really, like you say, the one-touch football was really nice. I mean, looking at the build-up to the goal specifically, you have Antonio do that nice little one-touch layoff back to whoever it was, and then the ball ends up at Fornal's feet, who plays a beautiful through ball to Bowen, and it's that kind of quick interchange of passes, which I was really impressed by. Antonio one-touch layoff, then sprinted into the position for the goal. Perfect. That's exactly what you need. And two, it's almost a carbon copy of his goal against Chelsea in that sense of just the one touch. I mean, I'm looking at it now again here. One touch off to Fornals, who's in a good position, and that through ball, that incisive through ball round the back for Bowen. That's exactly what you want from Bowen. It's where we've seen him be most effective. Pulls it across, and then he just finishes it with aplomb. Those are the sort of situations we've created more in this game, but as much as we've had 50% of that, there's been 50% of Newcastle dominating and doing similar type stuff. It's a very close game. It's very much an old school English game in the sense of Brucey versus Moisey, and at this point, I think it could go either way. So I think both teams would probably be happy with 1-1, I would guess.
I think somebody put it up there beautifully, which was, I say beautifully, but in terms of, I think we just took our foot off the gas and we got too comfortable. We allowed Newcastle to come onto us and to allow that pressure onto us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you could clearly see that Cresswell has been told to squeeze together, potentially, because I don't imagine...
we're playing very compact.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made that sort of... You could see that rush running in to try and compact it down, which is interesting, seeing as maybe it's something that Moyes had spoke about with the boys. I was just watching back here of the Almiron goal. If you see there, our midfield is all over the place. Four of them crowding is completely collapsed down to one side. Some Maximin with a good ball out, obviously squeezed at that point. A great ball across from Kraft. And an easy tap in. Unfortunately, I guess it's on Ogbonna and Diop to try and figure out and where. See, nobody really has eyes on Gale at the moment, and he just slips in between both centre halves. And it's a great time run from a striker who seems to be very on form.
And when you're a defender, when you're a centre back specifically, more importantly, but a defender in general, when you're running towards your own goal, there's a problem. There's a problem when you're doing that. Now, obviously, if you're playing a very high line, you kind of can't help it. But in that context, they forced us into a position where all of our defence was sprinting back towards the goal with no real sense. Again, their shape wasn't that bad, but you can't.
The midfield was. The midfield was.
Yeah, the defence specifically shape wasn't that bad, but the midfield weren't supportive enough. And when that happens again, we're conceding a lot down the flanks because we're giving that space, because we're playing so compact, and those spaces aren't being covered where fullbacks usually be, because we're playing so compact, aren't being covered, and so we're giving a lot of that space up, which again, when you're playing against a team who don't have the aerial dominance that Newcastle don't have on the pitch right now, right? Carroll could and probably would change that, you would imagine, but when you don't have that, I understand why we're doing it. But when you're sprinting back and you don't know where Almiron is, one low driven cross into a perfect area. I mean, if Almiron wasn't there, that's still a perfect opportunity for someone else to run up. It wasn't even like you have to aim at Almiron. That's just textbook area in which you put the ball, which is a shame. Which is a shame from our perspective.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. I didn't actually notice that during live when the game was going on. But our midfield just seemed to collapse completely down on one side, and it allowed that that pass to be spread across the pitch with ease to St. Maximin, who laid it off, and again it was a nice goal. After that, we needed the water break, but I thought we came back well. Actually, we regrouped. Moyes obviously tried to regroup the lads, and I thought we came back well towards the end of that half. Had another good few chances, which unfortunately, we could not capitalise on. But it bodes well, hopefully, Charlie, for the second half. I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, Again, once the water break happened and they were sort of on top, we came back strong and in a good sense. And I think it's just about creating more of those opportunities. It was kind of golden to have that go-ahead goal, because it meant that they couldn't just sit back and sort of absorb us, because they couldn't go for a point, go for free or whatever. They had to be a bit more adventurous. But it sort of worked in the opposite way. So I think in that second half, we've seen us come out and do very well in the opening stages of the second half before. We need that now. We need it.
I think I hope to love nor money, because I do not think a lot of those players will last the full 90, let alone 70 minutes. That we see the likes of Wilshere, Silva, a Jetty, something like that. Just a few subs a bit earlier on today. Yes. Yarmolenko, obviously, as well. Just to change it up, because, again, I think somebody's just put there that Newcastle, they've not been impressed. Was it Clayton that said that? I mean, they're there for the taking, put it that way. It's 1-1. It's a very even game at the moment. Both teams look like they're there for the taking. Let's just see a few more subs today. Just to try and keep people fit for the remaining games, because they will be coming thick and fast very soon. So yeah, who would you say your man of the match has been for West Ham for the first half, Charlie?
Probably Antonio.
And in the live chat as well. If you have a best player of the half for West Ham, who would you say?
Probably Antonio. It's easy to say because of the goal, but I think he did consistently get in decent enough positions. We saw him fighting, we saw him pressing. And that's kind of what you need from that kind of system and that kind of striker. Everyone else, I think, has had ups and downs, or I think he's mostly had ups. What about you?
Yeah, I like how he's sort of slowly growing into that role of becoming a striker more and more. Yeah. He's learning how to back into players and hold up the ball to release certain other players.
And getting into positions strikers need to be in. Both of his goals, the one today and the one in the Chelsea game, have been because he's in the right position, and that's huge credit to Antonio.
Chris Poundcoin, who says, "Are you actually happy with Moyes?" Before I give my man of the match, I don't think anybody is to a certain extent. I think we tolerate him at times, but yeah, he's not fantastic other times. I would be, like the chat says, Bowen for me. I thought he's been splendid. I think also Fornals has been very, very good in the centre of midfield, very creative. Yeah. Declan Rice will be Declan Rice, and he'll go under the radar. The 170 of you in here before the second half starts. Last time that we will plug Patreon and the video before the end of the day. We'll plug it at full time as well. But if you are in here, we know that a lot of you will disappear for the second half, and the hardcore of you will stay to watch the nonsense of myself and Charlie talking. But if you haven't already, do drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't. Really helps us out, really helps the channel. Helps myself and Charlie, tells Gio and Gonzo that you guys want to continue to see these watch-alongs into next season even. So yeah, if you just drop a like on the video and then disappear on your merry way, then that would be fantastic.
And if you do, of course, we fully understand if you pop off at half-time. Pop in just so you don't have to listen to the pundits and stuff. We get that. I understand that fully. I don't like listening to them either. But if you do like this and you do like more Hammers Chat content, there's never been a better chance and a better time to be a patron than right now. The month of July, there will be at least 27 exclusive Patreon videos for mild Hammers Chat addicts and above. That's our tier system on Patreon. Click in the link below, go have a gander. The stuff with me, my podcast, 2 Spanners, 1 Hammer, which might have Tom on today. He might be my co-host if Ray's not available, but the guest will be Big Mike Minera off of Mike on Mondays from Monday fame. And if you're a patron, you get the chance to be coming on as well because it's a Patreon podcast. But thank you so much for watching. We understand if you bop off. Tom, what are you saying? Score predictions. Now we're sort of...
I'm going to stick with 2-2. I'm going to stick with 2-2, which is what I did say before the game. Liverpool, I'm looking at there. Hopefully, can do us a favour this afternoon and absolutely smash Aston Villa for us. And then obviously pictures of Andy Carroll, which I think for all that time that we were so scared, or putting the fear of God into other teams of having somebody like Carroll come on for the last 20 minutes to just boss people about. You just know that he's going to have a point to prove, something to say to the manager today. But yeah, I think Hammer Down Under asked us both to say good day in an Aussie accent. Charlie, I would love to hear you say good day in an Aussie accent.
I can't do accents, so.
No, you can. No, you. If I'm going to do it, you're doing it once.
I'll do it, but give me a second. Let me just get into the minds. Hang on. I need to get into the zone.
No pressure. 172 people. No pressure.
Good day. Good day. Good day. Good day. Who is it? Who was asking? Hammer Down Under.
Hammer Down Under. Yeah.
Good day, Hammers. Good day, Hammer Down Under. Under.
Good day. Good day. Good day, Hammer. Hammer Down Under. I don't know if
that's much better. That's much better.
Yeah, but is that more New Zealand or is it G'day?
It is quite
New Zealand. New Zealand.
As someone who loves Flight of the Conchords, and
G'day, mate,
and What We Do in the Shadows, that is quite New Zealand. But
mate.
It's better than mine. Mine was pretty poor.
Yeah, can't wait to go beat those Poms in the cricket. Yeah, gonna win the Ashes just for the urn and stuff like that. Passable, but quite New Zealand. Okay, sure. I do apologise. Sure. Do you know what though? I'll say when I was living back in Leeds, when the Ashes was over here, I was working at the pub, which was the nearest pub to Headingley Cricket Ground. Really wanted to go and watch England play, but unfortunately could not during that time because I was working, all hands on deck. But I must say, I met some amazing Australian fans who were very, very nice and polite, seeing as we were Poms. But a great laugh nonetheless. Yeah, back to football, back to the second half. You confident, Charles? You confident?
Semi, 50-50. I think at this point it could go either way. I'd probably arguably take a point. I don't want to, but I probably would. But yeah, there's some confidence there. We could certainly shown that we can go ahead and win this game if we put it in. If we step up, we certainly can win it. Well, how about you?
Yeah, I'm more optimistic actually. Just like I said, I think I was worried about coming out of the traps in that first half, but we seemed to do that as I disappeared.
Yeah.
But we did do that. We did do that. So to be 1-1 at half time fills me with a lot of confidence. Yeah. Stephen Jones says, "What part of Down Under are you from?" I don't know. Living in Perth. I was trying to think of Australian places.
I like the way you answered it, as opposed to the people who are actually from Australia. Yeah. You just decided to pop off Perth.
Perth, Western Australia. Is that Perth? Western Australia, mate. Adelaide. Well, I'm probably really offending the Australians in the chat now. I do apologise. We'll stop that. Are you Australians? You big Cricket Australia fans?
Any excuse to talk about any other sport?
No, I'm intrigued. Like I said, I met a lot of really nice people who came over for the Ashes. They were in their tour groups. I know because I served a lot of them at the bar for 5 days straight. What a game of cricket, by the way. Ben Stokes, what a man. But yeah, was really disappointed because I could hear what was going on before it was happening on telly, and I was just listening with my ear out into the ground. Like I said, because I was literally about a minute walk to Headingley. So anyway, back to football.
Hang on, Eric, can we discuss some curling now? I do like curling. I can't.
So do I.
Like I don't.
So do I.
Whenever the Winter Olympic comes around, I'm watching the curling. I do enjoy it. It doesn't matter.
Mate, I'm practicing my curling every single day in here. You should see the state of the toilet when I'm finished.
I quite liked the idea of just you having like a little ice rink underneath that you'd be like.
No. My curling involves brown things. Chippy999 says, "Get Lanzini off. Just jogged back when Newcastle came down the left, then stopped and let their player across. Pathetic." I noticed that he wasn't very noticeable now in that first half. I would be tempted to get Wilshere on earlier in the second half for Lanzini.
Well, it depends. If Fornell's playing that 10 role, then I'm not putting Wilshere out wide, and I don't particularly want Fornals out wide either, if you know what I mean.
No.
So it does complicate it somewhat, but I know exactly what you mean. I think Lanzini's been a bit of a passenger again today, unfortunately.
Yeah. Stephen Jones says, you sound like Michael Caine doing an Aussie accent in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Now, I can't say I've ever watched Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, so I don't know. But I do know that if you haven't seen the trip,
yes,
Rob Brydon and
excellent reference.
Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan, and they're sitting and talking about Michael Caine, and they just sat there over and over again going, she was only 15 years old or something. Absolutely hilarious. Somebody, Gary TV says, Fornals creative. What game are you watching, mate? WTF? Well, I do want to say to you, Gary, that if you did see the first goal, it was actually Fornals that created the pass in behind to set Bowen on his way to cross there.
He also then did it again later on in the game. He also did it. He also played the ball to the person who then got the assist twice in the Chelsea game.
Well done, Deck. Well done.
I feel like we just need to get a bit of perspective on that one.
Yeah. Allow Fornals, Gary. Don't be too harsh, because I do think he has created a couple of opportunities for us. Chase Nelson says, "Are you lot on hot mic?" What is hot mic?
I don't know, Chase, but we are not on hot mic. No. If that is some form of software, neither of us are on hot mic.
I was thinking, is it something more along the lines of Grindr or something? Am I on hot mic?
Well, that's a different story.
Download hot mic.
Hot mic.
For hot men. Hot mic. Yeah, Mike Monera is on hot mic. We look flat time for a change. I agree. I would get Wilshere on potentially for Lanzini, or even Yarmolenko on at this point. Maybe not just yet. 55 to 60 minutes. Make a change. Hot mic is a new app.
Then no, we are not on hot mic.
Shows how Tom's mind works. Listen, Frankie Boyle has taught me the ins and outs of the dirty joke and the dirty mind.
Yes, Frankie Boyle. I'll have a look into it, but we are not using hot mic now.
I'm searching what hot mic app is.
That's a good ball by Fornals again. Antonio just can't quite get there.
Oh, okay. Hot mic will forever change the way sports fans are entertained during a game by offering choice in commentary, whether you prefer funny, famous, or. I'll have to check that out after the game.
I'll have a gander. I've never heard of it before now.
We'll have a gander. Gonzo has spoken about it previously. Did not know that, though. Did not know. Fornals done well there. See, Antonio strayed completely out to the left-hand side there, so no recognised striker in the middle.
Just no one with aerial ability in the middle. Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals, none of them are getting their head on the ball, really. And if they are, it's not,
It's not going to be troubling much.
But again, it's another period of decent play from us, where we've got the pressure on.
Deck.
Yeah, it was a bit bad by Declan, I'm not going to lie. A bit lackadaisical.
I take it St-Maximin stayed on for the second half. Oh, turn.
I didn't see any subs. And I think that's him now out the left.
Good ball from Almiron. Gale tried the outlet pass to St-Maximin, but unfortunately for him, did not make it. Yeah, and for West Ham, we'll deal with that. Clayton says no recognised striker on the pitch, Tom. Yeah, very true. Of the striker on the pitch, he was over by the corner flag, which is never handy.
Never a good thing.
Yeah, unfortunately. Antonio going down like a sack of spuds there. Did you think that was a penalty the other day, by the way?
Which one?
When he went down in the box against Rudiger. If we hadn't scored from that build-up.
If we hadn't scored? Yeah, probably. What do you think? I think it's one of those ones where you feel it, you go down, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think he was searching for it.
But
he seemed pretty angry after the goal because he was really pointing out after someone, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was talking to Rudiger, Christensen or something. He was. What I thought was he said something along the lines of that was a penalty, by the way. But
yeah,
he did. It's one of those ones where he might have been able to stay up from it, but he was going backwards and then just pulled down quite cynically.
Yeah.
So I would have said yes.
If Bentaleb is low key a baller.
Yes.
What I was about to say something there. I was about to say something. Oh, that was it. If anybody has seen, I know I tweeted about it the other day. By the way, the other day, do you remember when you said to me, Charlie, about I don't use Twitter that much when we were doing the Patreon podcast? I've realised that I want to start being a bit more active on Twitter again. So if you are, look for Athos32 on Twitter. If you don't follow me already, I'm trying to become a bit more active on Twitter with the West Ham community because I don't follow enough West Ham fans. So if you are on Twitter, do follow me and I'll follow you back because I don't have enough. I don't have enough West Ham on my timeline, Charlie.
I just appreciate you. You shilled out your Instagram. You now shilled out your Twitter.
It sounds bad, doesn't it?
Gonzo?
No, I'd like.
I didn't do any of it. It was him.
I'm not promoting myself. I did. Eric, what do you mean first Instagram, Twitter, now stop promoting yourself? You followed me on Instagram. I saw it when I went for a slash at half time.
Thank you, Eric.
He followed me. I saw it. I was when he went for a slash at half time.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, he followed you because you were shamelessly pimping out. Come on now.
No, I told you on Instagram, if you wanted to see photos of dog, you did not have to follow me. On Twitter, it is optional. No, sorry.
Oh, it's optional, is it? But before it was mandatory. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise that it was mandatory.
No. Athos32 on Twitter. Listen. I want more West Ham activity. I'm going to start following. I'm going to go down Charlie's followers list, and I'm going to just start following all you West Ham people. Just because, at the minute, I don't have enough on my timeline. It's too much politics, unfortunately.
That's probably because you follow me. To be fair, I apologise.
There's been a lot of that the last couple of weeks.
Joe Linton just breezed past Rice there. I think that's
that's a foul, is it not?
I would have said it was a bit light, to be honest. Looking at it again, yeah, credit that's a bit light, unfortunately. But it's what it is.
Noble came on apparently. Is that happened for us yet in our game?
Gonzo says promote. Wait, Gonzo, I'm not okay with it. I'm making the senior decision now as the person who has OBS open. Tom, enough of the promotion. If people want to follow Athos32 on Twitter, then they can do. But I don't want you to follow Athos32 or talk about it being mandatory to follow Athos32 or Tom_Atherton1 on Instagram. Come on now.
Somebody asked us a question up there though. Where is it? If Declan leaves, what will you miss the most about having him in the squad? Jeffrey Stelly says.
Everything. The thing is our midfield is nothing without him. We would need to replace that. I mean, him without a DM would be absolutely a gargantuan hole in our squad because he's really the only proper DM we have. Officially, he's the only proper DM we have since Carlos Sanchez is now gone. So that would be a monumental loss.
I will miss just everything about him. I will miss everything about him. He's just become the norm now. Go on, old Bonner. Did you see his unbelievable shithousery with Kepa the other day when he was like, Kepa!
Yes,
Kepa!
I did. It was excellent. It really was excellent.
Lanzini for Noble. Not a fan.
I am, just because he's done nothing.
Nah. Wilshere for me has got to come on there.
I agree. I would probably prefer Wilshere, but we've seen Noble play a bit further forward of late, and he's not been ineffective at it. Not been effective, but not been ineffective. And with Sucek and Rice behind him covering, we'll see how it goes. Shout
out to Bob Colson, the one person to follow me on Twitter. Listen, Bob, I rate you,
I rate you,
Bob Collison. You're there.
Eric, okay, guys, now go follow my MySpace, Tom_Ather1. Who's in your top 8, Tom? Come on.
Wait, what's this? What did he say?
Okay, guys, go follow my MySpace, Tom_Ather1. Who would be in your top 8?
Fonda says I'm old. What's with getting followers? It's not so much about getting followers. It's just I wanted to see more West Ham on the timeline. I don't see enough.
But that means you should follow people because your timeline.
No, I know. But I follow people sometimes. I follow people sometimes, and then nobody follows me. Well, some follow me back, but people they care about their ratios. It's a bit dumb. I don't understand that. But like I said, I'm so inactive sometimes I don't even notice. I need to go through and sort it all out then. Aaron asked, parking the bus and why the captain's armband off Rice. I think he's a better captain than Noble. He's more positive and 100 times better. I
disagree with the captain stuff,
but yeah, I think he's. I mean, Noble's the club captain. You give him the armband. He takes that as soon as he steps onto the pitch. IMO. The better player. Probably yes.
He is definitely the better player.
The positive player, 100%. But Noble always gets the. Noble always gets the armband when he comes on.
I agree with that. I just don't agree about the positivity thing, but I agree with that.
Somebody says if we lose Rice, Jamie Green says if we lose Rice and we got the 45 mil for him and we stay up, who do we replace him with, and are we using the whole amount? There's one.
The realistic answer is no. We aren't spending the whole amount, and no, we won't replace him fully. But go on, who would you be your person?
But I don't think I can say that because I think the team that I want, the player I want from is
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, well, he's going to come up to the Premier League this season. Now I know Phillips is 25, but really like him. But obviously, if they come into the Prem, his price goes way up. If they stay down there, I reckon maybe 30, 35, 40 for him. He would be an ideal.
It wouldn't be that much. It'd be. There's no player going to leave the Championship for 40 mil. Zero chance. As good as Calvin Phillips is, and he is obviously very, very good. 45, 40, I can't see. I'd see him going.
Leeds can dictate the price for him.
They can, but if they don't go up, then they can't. Because the truth is that if they don't go up, he's going to want to leave.
Yeah, and he is 25. He's getting on. I say getting on. He's 25, but he's not this up and coming youngster. You're not really buying potential as such. You are to an extent, but you're not in the same way you are Rice, who's only whatever. Calvin Phillips is very good. I wouldn't mind replacing with Calvin Phillips. But the thing is I think the realistic answer is no. We wouldn't spend a whole 45 mil on a DM. I think realistically we would sell. I think realistically we would buy maybe 2 players for the 45 million we got. One being a special and the other.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know who to replace him with, to be honest, because I don't think you can that easily. I'm trying to think. I'd have to have a look. I'd have to have a little gander about.
James Gunn saying, I've seen United fans saying you'd be a good signing for 30, 40 mil. Which foot do they want for that amount? Yeah. Do you know what really annoys me is when I see like another team on Twitter, and I guess this sort of falls in with what people are saying up there about Twitter being toxic. I completely agree, because when I see Maximan just decides to go dribbling around everyone.
He didn't actually go past anyone. He just sort of spent a lot of time on the ball without actually doing anything.
Roulette to nowhere. Is all the fans, when they're linked with Rice, they're like, oh, wouldn't take him. Oh, he's BTEC. Oh, he's crap. I'd rather have Uncle Ben's Rice than Declan Rice. I don't actually think opposition fans appreciate how good Declan Rice is. I think they're so quick to criticise because he's not a household name, but they would have him starting every single week in their team. I think
part of it is also that he plays for West Ham.
I think it's embarrassing, really, the way that other fans.
I think because we as West Ham fans go on about him so much, and then he turns up for England and he's not incredible. It sort of gives people this like inflated expectations, and it's like when he rocks up for England, which are realistically the only matches they're really watching him in, because no one's watching a West Ham match our choice apart from West Ham fans.
Steve Hammer says, please stop talking about Rice, a £45 million player. That is ridiculously low for an England international. Oh no, 100%. I think he's valued up towards 70 to 80 million. Personally,
but that's what I think. That's what I think happens. Is it turns into a state when they just go, oh no, he's not good. But it's like it's that overreaction. It's that want to say it's OTT. They overrate him. It's that sort of want to give a sort of fire hot take, whereas in reality it's just not. It's just not accurate. He is one of the better DMs in the league.
It really frustrates me though, because the thing is, if myself and Charlie are both objective fans, so we're not going to sit there and say, and I'd let us know in the chat if you're the same, but I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, Harry Kane, oh, he's crap because it's Harry Kane. He's a fantastic player. Like we both lauded some of the Spurs players for how good and technical and brilliant that they are. I'm not going to say they're crap because they're Spurs players. You know what I mean? But the amount of Oppo fans that I see on social media that oh, he's overrated. We don't want him. We don't want this. Don't want that. I just think it's embarrassing, really, from some of them. Specifically, I'm talking about United and Chelsea fans. Whoever's been linked with him in the past 12 months. Probably want to take, like saying that Scott McTominay would get in the team ahead of him. Look, I appreciate Scott McTominay is a fantastic holding midfielder, but he's nowhere near the standard of what Declan Rice is. And you know what? If people
to be honest with you, I like Scott McTominay a lot. I know he'd be.
Oh, so do I.
I'd play him both.
Brilliant.
It'd be a midfield free for me if those two and Pogba, but that's a side note for another time. I guess.
Exactly, Scott McSauce. I think he's a fantastic player, but I just think that you just need to appreciate sometimes, and that's the thing. I think we've got so comfortable with Declan Rice just being just doing what we expect of him week in week.
Again, looking at ball, just there. What a ball from Declan Rice, by the way. Absolutely raking ball, perfectly down. It's one of those things where people love a hot take. People love to be the person who goes, "Oh, Rice isn't very good," and it's like, well, I don't. Even if you do believe that, you're just sort of wrong. You're just sort of wrong, and it's because, again, I understand fully. You can't, unless you're Gio, you can't watch every single team, and and the chances are you're not gonna want to watch a West Ham game if you don't have.
It's just. I just think it's frustrating. Like I said, because I'm always first to compliment other players. If I see, and I do watch a lot of football. Yeah, it's just how I don't know. I wish other teams would see what we see. Is what I'm saying. Corner comes in. It's gone across. Oh, Declan Rice off the ball. Sucek!
There we go. I'm somehow about 5 seconds behind, but banger.
He is just a danger from corners, isn't he? This is what all of the Sparta fans said to us when he signed, or the videos we saw of him. Charlie, do you want to take away how that? Because you're better at breaking down than me. I'm just raw emotion.
I'm also like 5 seconds behind. So corner comes in. It's whipped into the back post. Declan Rice does really well to get off the bar. He leaps up well, notes it off the bar, and Sucek's just there, ready, waiting, just swings his left peg at it. That's a great finish, to be fair. That is an excellent finish from Sucek. Do you know what? Fair play, because again, he's the first to react to that. And maybe he just knows he's a danger from corners. Maybe he's just like, I'm here for it. But that is the sort of finish you want. Really quick reaction.
Yeah, he's becoming such a danger from corners. The thing is now, if all we have to do is hold on to this lead, and just, I mean, maybe make a sub in the next sort of 5-10 minutes. Try and slow the game down a bit. Don't sit with 11 men behind the ball for the entire time. I mean, a healthy 2-1 lead with half an hour to play. Is always good. Who's this? Carafe attacking down. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I wish I'd not said anything, Charlie.
That's incredible.
I wish I'd not said anything.
And again, it's that lack of organisation from the midfield specifically that's cost us there. I want to look at it again, but that's, they say you're most likely to concede when you've either just scored or just conceded.
Is VAR going to save us here, or are we?
Ball comes down the right. It's Kraft. He puts in the.
Now.
It's pinged off. Joe Linton to Shelvey.
4-nows. Gale would have been offside, but 4-nows played him on.
Yeah, Shelvey lays it into Gale, who lays it back to John Joe Shelvey, and that's a great finish from Shelvey, to be fair. For a non-striker on his weak foot to just slide that in like that is very good.
So poor. Well, we just switched off from kickoff. I mean, it's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing from us.
It is very embarrassing. It's really disappointing that it happened that quickly.
It's just, I mean, come on. You've had to work hard to grow back into the game after half time. You get the goal, and then you concede. It's like it's like the FIFA glitch. If anybody plays FIFA and you know about kickoff goals, it was just like that. What were we doing? Just gone to sleep straight away. Fornals keeping everyone on side, unfortunately. And to be fair, I do think David.
I understand.
Excuse me. Sorry, Siri tried to interrupt me. Chippy says Gale is a mile offside. I know, but Fornals was keeping everybody on, unfortunately, during that build-up. But David Moyes must be spitting feathers there, and then that's not his fault. And I know people will obviously be quick to criticise. Fornals, what is he doing? See, that's all Fornals' fault, in my opinion. He's been very lazy.
Okay, we can blame Fornals for it. But they do. John Joe Shelby just walked through our defence. Literally walked through it. Like, we can look at Fornals and blame him, and he obviously has to take a lot of the blame there for not tracking fast enough. He was sort of just wandering back, sort of slowly at the pace of the Newcastle player, but like was looking down the line, so he should be aware of enough to think, okay, I'm keeping some people on side here. But my lord, was that way too easy for Newcastle to just literally walk through.
I do put the blame on Fornals there, though. I mean, our defence is obviously bad for allowing him to walk straight through it, but Fornals should not be ball watching there. Clayton says if Fornals wasn't covering Cresswell all game, it would have been offside. It would have been as well, but Fornals was ball watching there, unfortunately, instead of being aware of the situation. But the defence, obviously, in the build-up to that goal was not good either, because everybody seemed to go to sleep. But yeah, Lazaro on the attacking fullback, who was at Inter Milan.
Yes,
didn't really play.
He was playing wing back for them when he was playing.
And then Franz Hendrick says, not offside at the goal, your left fullback was still there. Bruv, he's not even our fullback. Fornals is our attacking player.
And again, it's one of those ones where he's clearly been told, because we were conceding so much, to get as far back as humanly possible. And
so my nan and granddad are appearing. I see them.
Oh, what time to be alive?
Shall I just...
Hello. I'm just live streaming at the minute. We scored, and then they scored 60 seconds afterwards. It's 2-2. I said we scored, and then they scored 60 seconds afterwards. It's 2-2.
Did you bring rice pudding?
Don't come in. I'm live streaming. Nice to see you. Okay.
Yeah.
Super Saturday. Yeah. Come on. Everyone's out. Let's go.
It's Sunday, bro.
I know, but it was Super Saturday yesterday. I am vaguely aware of what the day is.
I'm not.
Not as much as I should be, if we're being honest. I did think yesterday was Friday, but, these things happen.
Yeah, Fo, I hope she's brought rice pudding. I'm going to have to go down and check towards the end. I should have gone at the water break, but they hammer down under says, get your grandpa. To be honest with you, he may just walk through the door. He may just do that. That's the kind of person that he is.
Get some AFAS 30 knowledge on. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, I do. Oh my goodness me.
It's offside door.
Okay. I hope. I say I hope. I've offended Slavia, not Sparta. Sorry, in the excitement of the moment, Marty 23. I do apologise.
Did you say Sparta?
Yeah, by accident. I'm so sorry.
I didn't pick up on that. I would have pulled you up on that. He's a
It
Slavia
was the excitement at the moment, Marty 23. I really do apologise. Wait, Sucek came from Slavia, not Sparta. Oh, he's a Sparta fan. Okay. I got that wrong.
You got it wrong again. You annoyed.
He's the... Yeah.
So stop talking about Czech football. You don't know it. You don't know it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Marty. I'm now really not confident for the last 20 minutes, Charlie.
We're very, very, very much shaky here.
Go on then.
Newcastle have stepped up a gear, and we haven't. And again, without using subs, there's not much is going to change unless we do it at this stage.
I mean, I'm amazed again that we've only used one sub so far.
Yes, and it was to bring on Mark Noble.
And it's 72 minutes gone.
Yeah, we need a change. We need a change. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying Yarmolenko's coming on, so that's good.
Yeah, Yarmolenko, Wilshere. I wish somebody could just be next to Moyes and just be like, use your fecking substitution.
Well, Kevin Nolan, I did. If there's one person who could make someone do something, it's Kevin Nolan. I'll tell you what, if he said to me in an angry tone to do something, I'd get to doing it real quick.
FFG Owen Casey says, I'm back. Nice to see you, mate.
Hello, Owen.
FFG Fishing says, Fishing Football Gaming. Interesting. Said, I just came on the stream and it is 2-2 to the brilliant Magpies.
I mean, 2-2 is a drawing scoreline.
2-2 is a drawing scoreline, my guy. 2-2 to the Magpies.
But you have bounced back. You have bounced back strong. So, twice.
Who else we got? Kevin Power says TFFT. What does that mean?
TFFT. I don't know.
Trust. I don't know.
Time for effing tugs. The show.
Time for effing time. Oshisi says John Nolan. John Nolan.
Oh, get him in. Nolan for Prime Minister. Come on.
John Nolan off the bench for Prime Minister.
Get him in. Get him in.
Athos 32 says he's going to hope Yama can do the same thing. Yeah. Thing is though, I don't think he will, Ben. Unfortunately. I mean, we hope so.
We hope, but
I still want to know what this celebration was the other day because it must have been about talking.
You were very intrigued by that. Hashtag recall Big George. Come on. Hashtag it, Tom. Come on, hashtag it.
Don't forget to hashtag it.
Thank you very much.
Who does he bring on other than Yama to change it though? Wilshere for me. 100%.
UK man, you might have scored a goal, but we'll never know. A Yeti.
Migsy, Jesse. Franz Andrew says, I'm Dutch, I can handle it. Notice how midfield is getting worse once Noble's been brought on. I say nothing. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I don't think that's necessarily true though, because our midfield hasn't been great the entire game. They've sort of been out of all sorts for most of the game. Going forward, when we've had good periods, then they've been all right. But when it comes to like defensive, the midfield hasn't been great, and that counts for everyone. Declan Rice has been shaky at times. Sucek, I don't remember seeing making a particular challenge. Fornals obviously defensively hasn't been great. Like, I don't want to sit here and say it's Noble and just make the assumption, because I don't think it's been that great the entire time, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
There's not been many periods where the midfield has controlled the game.
Okay, I've just seen what Kevin means.
Thank you. Okay, that makes more sense than whatever I was saying.
Thank feck for that. 15 minutes left. Can't believe another watch along has gone by so fast.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah. How have we been today in the live chat? Would rate our performance out of 5. I'm joking. Don't do that because you might offend me.
Won't offend me. Rate mine specifically out of 5, but don't say Tom's because he can't take it. Bless him.
I did say 2-2 before the game started. So I'm semi right. I'm just the oracle for those that have watched Benidorm. How have you guys enjoyed it these last few weeks? I know a few of you said it's been good to have us doing these. I didn't realise that. See, Gio and Gonzo must get this buzz constantly when doing live streams. I think it's brilliant. Interacting with everybody in the chat, it's brilliant. It makes the game go by fast. So even when we're playing crap like we were the first 2 watch-alongs, it made it so much more enjoyable. It's been really good.
It's been alright, good.
It's been a right laugh.
It's been great. I don't know what that accent was. I'm sorry, everyone. I genuinely
it's been
have no idea.
Maisie getting the 11s. Listen, Maisie always get the 11s. She is top dog. She's
top doge, bro. Big doge techers from the maze dog.
Do you know what? I'm liking. We've had a lot of Newcastle fans in today. We seem to attract quite a few opposition fans, and we appreciate all of you opposition fans for coming in and having a chat.
Of course, I appreciate. Of course, I mean, like, even people who come in to start, you get the occasional someone who comes in to try and troll at the beginning, and that's fine. That's fair
I mean,
enough. I understand that.
Like Christy Duncan has just tried to do. As I was saying, thank you for coming to Newcastle.
West Ham Championship ban. Okay, cool. And I'll be real. I quite like a good troll. Christy Duncan, poor. I would say 3 out of 10 for that troll. Come again. Try again next time. But I do like a good troll. But the thing is, I do like opposition fans coming in as well, because I think it's a different perspective. You want it involved, don't you? You want it involved.
Shame's not having Tom dinner again. And where's the vase? Oh, Jamie, look, the vase is always here, bro.
The vase is here. Vase is all ever present in Tom's life. No dinner though. It's early kickoff. It's the problem, isn't it? If this was a late kickoff, we might see it. But
I'm disappointed in you, Fo. Give me a 3 out of 10.
Yes, because Fo knows where the bread is buttered, bruv, and it's
yeah, bruv. You got beaten by a dog, so you are in no position to talk.
We all got beaten by Maisie. Come on now, Maisie single-handedly raised money for charity. We don't need,
Sorry, just reading back through. I need to work on your Aussie accents. Hey, we'll try, mate.
Well, yeah, we do. That is true.
I've just realised we're still yet to see Andy Carroll, and I know people are putting that Carroll's going to come on now. So we all know how this game is ending. D Swissport, who did donate to the Biscuit Fund a couple of weeks ago, he did say that we have the best watch along in the Premier League.
Thank you, D. Thank you, D. Appreciate
it. I think Arsenal Fan TV would disagree with us, but the fact that you're all here is massively appreciated.
Yeah, appreciate that, D.
Ben says, does Carroll celebrate if he scores?
No. He's a respectful guy. I don't think he would. Carroll, he's a nice man. I don't think he would do that. I think he'd give one of these, like when someone can't celebrate but they still have the vibe, and so they go, yes, but then nothing more. I reckon we get one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do want to ask for the Newcastle fans that are still here. Joe Linton obviously was a big money signing for you guys. Hasn't impressed as much as you guys would have expected him to. I don't know. I would expected big things of him this season, but we've not really seen it. Stephen Jones.
What do you think? How do you think you get the best out of Joe Linton? Is maybe a good question.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't know. I don't watch Newcastle enough to even want to begin to.
I think he did well at Hoffenheim, and I think the reason he did well at Sucek close. I think the reason he did well at Hoffenheim is because he was in a front two, and he's clearly not a guy who can play up front by himself because he's just not got the finishing qualities to do it. Whereas if you put him in a setup where he's not the only guy, I think maybe you could get something out of him. I mean, at times for Hoffenheim, he was playing in a front two, but then he was also playing as a 10 sometimes. He's playing on the wing sometimes, like we've seen him today, and we saw him in the last game for Newcastle. I think that's maybe the reason why. But yeah, Newcastle fans in the chat, let me know how you think you could get the best out of Joe Linton.
Some trivia for you, because I know we like playing these games.
I love a bit of trivia. Lay it down.
Without anybody in the chat cheating as well, because this good knowledge if you do know it. Can you name another Premier League striker who was signed from Hoffenheim?
Demba Ba.
In the last 5 years.
Not a Demba Ba. Okay.
No.
I think he was Hoffenheim anyway. Premier League striker signed from Hoffenheim.
Not allowed to cheat as well. Good knowledge if you do, because obviously I know the answer. Just because I'm a sad boy.
This is the kind of thing I'm into. Oh, I've got it.
Yeah, the chat got it.
The chat got it as well. Yeah. It's Firmino.
The chat have got it. Well done, chat. A lot quicker than Charlie.
It was quicker than me. It took me a second. Wait, was Demba Ba from Hoffenheim? Can you Google that, please?
Yeah, he was. Okay,
good.
Was Demba Ba at Hoffenheim?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Because if so, I got that instantaneously, and that was a West Ham player we signed from Hoffenheim.
Should we allow? He was at Hoffenheim before he came to West Ham.
Thank you very much.
2000. Hey, I didn't disagree with you, bro.
I know. I'm just saying that was rapid. Although Firmino, I was definitely late.
Yo, mama, mates, I'm back. Did you all miss me? Yeah, welcome back, mate.
Always, yo, mama. Always. Feel free to come back.
Miggsy says, to get the best out of Joe Linton, they have to sell him and buy someone else. They're also saying that they're useless and that you should have left him there. Is that about Firmino, Christy, or is that about Joe Linton?
I suspect
If it's about Joe Linton, they don't sound too impressed with him, do they?
Next game, Burnley. I got it right. Thank you very much. Look at that. See, look, Burnley, Norwich, Watford, Man United, Villa. There are a lot of winnable games in there. A lot of winnable games. So a point here takes us into a good position.
I would. Should we do one thing? Like, should we let the chat in on what our nights on PlayStation consist of?
if you want, yeah. I'm up for it. Who you think? Well, I don't know. Obviously,
you do it. You do it.
Me?
I gave you for me.
I'm running the stream. I've got the stream on my PC. I've got the thing on my phone. I don't know if I can click around and not. I can't click around.
Stung the palms. The conversation literally just took the words out of my mouth. United best front three in the world right now. Is that Man United?
United have a banging front three right now, to be fair.
Do you know what?
They're doing bits.
People were talking about sorting Man United's defence out, and I know that they are bad at times. But my word, I said it last night to my mates, Bruno Fernandes.
He's a baller. He's so good.
What a player he is. And also the stats don't lie at all, because United's front three have actually scored more goals this season than Liverpool's front three.
Brother, let me finish this way, right? Like
55.
I've never been so convinced about Rashford and Martial as I am right now when they're playing together. Like I don't know what Ollie's done, but he's managed to stumble across something which is just really working well. And so if you look at that team, all of a sudden I see Tottenham and Arsenal struggling next year to get into top four right now. Because I think it's obviously Liverpool and City, but then Chelsea and Man United on top of that, and I think Man United are a comfortable third. They've got in 2-3 years they've gone from being a bit of a joke into a very, very decent team.
Yeah,
and I think Harry Maguire is very good as well. The rest of it needs a bit of work, but
people talking about favourite front threes in the chat. Who are your favourite front threes? It could be in history or in the Premier League now or something. I did think it was quite interesting when they said that United's they compared the Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney to Salah, Mane and Firmino. I mean, for me personally, all day long I'm going with Tevez, Ronaldo and Rooney. But it was intriguing to see some fans that were
it depends on style. I think that one's just a style thing. Like the Firmino, Salah, Mane is just incredible. Like truly, truly incredible. And they've not even been that on the pace right now, and they're still doing bits.
The cross sport big threes: Kobe, Shaq, Magic. I don't think Magic didn't play with Shaq though, did he? So the Bron, Bosch, and D Wade. Yeah, it was a good big three. Durant, Curry, Thompson.
See, Foe, Shearer, Ferdinand. If we're talking front two, Henri Bergkamp, man.
Athos Harbour says, how much chat? Just join chat and interested to know your views. If West Ham can confirm Premier League status, would you promote West Ham youth striker Odubeko? Is this a proper name or are we being trolled?
I've never heard of him, so I can't speak to it.
Neither have I. Henry, Ronaldinho, Messi. I mean, Eto'o, the fact was in that team as well.
Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo.
Harden, Westbrook,
Brazil 2002. Come on. Come the bloody hell on.
Yeah, who is people's favourite players of all time? Because I fell in love with watching football and watching...
Big Ronaldinho.
I fell in love with watching Ronaldinho. That was my favourite player growing up. Went to the new camp and saw him. I don't know what it was. The tricks, the flicks, everything. Just from PSG to Barcelona, for me, no question, was Ronaldinho, 100%.
I just had a knock at the door. I'll be back in a second, Tom.
No worries, bro. Sorry, Char. I know the game is sort of winding down. I think both teams are happy with a point. 16 attempts from us today, which is actually quite surprising. How many of those were on target? 7. I mean, you can't say that we've not gone for it this game. Just not defended great. who else are people saying? Shearer for Foshizi, Zidane. Kevin, happy with the point if it stays as is 100%. 100%. It's. I think we both said before the game we bite your hand off for a point in this game. Zlatan, Zidane. It's the bailiffs for Charlie. Listen, Charlie just got himself a new computer. He's not been paying the bills for his very expensive computer. Mine is Payet, controversial, great player, says Ollie. Hey, listen, I'm doing Russ Budden's. My Hammers 11 next Friday, and Payet makes it into my team just from players I've watched since I was alive. And I'm 25, so I can include it. So there's a sneak peek from you. Obviously, it's pretty obvious, but Payet makes it into my team. West Ham Clip says Ribery, Mandzukic, Robin. I think, do you know what, Clips? That is such a great shout. I don't think people realise how good that front three was at Bayern Munich, especially Robin and Ribery. So underrated as players. McAvenny, Cotty, and Devonshire, best front three, says Clayton. I guess it's all about eras as well. When you when you grew up and when you could watch West Ham or other teams and stuff. Obviously, MSN was a very, very good year, as they're saying there. I should probably focus on this corner. Great ball. Oh. MSN obviously was very, 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 very good. But again, I guess it's all on eras and what you preferred growing up or who you watched more of. Would I take Messi, Suarez, and Neymar over Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo for Brazil? Probably not. I would stick with Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. I think they were unbelievable. Christy Duncan says, "How much extra time in this, lads?" The scoreboard's actually gone for me. I can't actually tell you how much time is left.
I would suspect not a lot.
But MSN were very good. Very good.
Can we just
on personal preference though? Ronaldinho, and Rivaldo for me.
Clips with the Ribery, Mandzukic, Robin. I mean, that is shout.
I just said it's very underrated, but levels. Those two wide players were unbelievable.
Mandzukic is underrated, man. He's such a baller. That goal, for example, the goal he scored at 4 minutes stoppage time being played starting now, just at the context.
4 minutes, yeah. I mean, can we do it again, Charlie? Can we sneak a late winner for back-to-back 3-2s? We both said before the game we chew your hand off for a point.
Yep.
We would chew your hand off. Somebody asks, was it... somebody asked, was the bailiffs at the door for you?
No.
I said it was very possible because you had just bought a very expensive PC and you may not have paid it in full.
Listen, okay, what I do with my money is my own business, but I did pay in full. Thank you very much. As Lethal Bizzle once said, don't cop one if you can't afford 3. You know what I mean? Now, can I afford 3 of these? No, it was literally my entire life savings, but I did pay it outright. No, it was a leaflet for a Chinese restaurant, but the way they put it through the door, they like swung the letterbox in a big way, which made it sound like someone was knocking at the door.
Could kill a Chinese.
I know that feeling very well.
Raquel May says Christy Duckett. Raquel May, again, what a player. Crespo, Robin, and Drogba were pretty good for a while. Hey, listen, there's been so many good trios in football history. As I just heard, Davy Proven, I think that is. Who's just said that we've thrown 2 points away. I wholeheartedly agree. It's been unfortunate.
The problem is he would very happily take a point. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem because I agree I would take a point as well. Like I say, we've got 3 very winnable games after this, but they're just as winnable as this, and so it'll be 50-50. Apart from Norwich, which you would really, really want a.
And we never do well in Newcastle, so even if it is a few points dropped, he's still as well. What's annoyed me is he's not again. I guess Kevin just said overall thoughts on the game, gents. As we wind down, it's annoyed me again that he's only used 2-3 subs. Thought he could do some more potentially to try and win the game. I think Antonio having back-to-back full 90-minute games is not the best for somebody that's injured.
He's asking for it.
Yeah, he's asking for trouble. Charlie, what are your thoughts on the game, seeing as we're wrapping up?
content with definitely disappointment involved. When we were good, we showed that if we were more consistent with that, then we could have definitely opened them up a lot more, put them in a position where we could have put them to the sword in a sense, but we just weren't nowhere near more consistent than we should have been with it. So I'm content. The point I'm good with, but it's a shame because we scored 2 and we weren't really super at the races.
No. I think attacking wise today, it did say, Charlie, whilst you were down, we had 16 shots, 7 on target today. So the effort has been there going forward.
Yeah.
I just don't think defensively we've just not been at the races today, which is really unfortunate. And again, it's not a Moyes problem that we concede 60 seconds after a goal goes in. It's shocking. It just the defence is completely switched off. I do not understand that. But you know, it is what it is. I'm happy with the point. Now, I said before the game I'd have chewed the hand off for a point. So yeah, it's been an interesting game. Put it that way. Gio is a prophet. Hey, yeah. I said 2-2 before the game. You can call me a prophet as well. It's a step closer to safety as the full-time whistle goes. Deependra says love from India. I appreciate that, Deependra.
Shout out to India. Great nation doing bits.
I imagine Gonzo will be going live in a minute.
He will be. So Tom, if you could get the link for the chat and if you get the link for everyone in the chat and put it in there, we will wrap this up. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like. We're going to be doing one of these for every single game for the rest of the season at least. So make sure you can come back and get involved next time. Shout out if you've got involved in the chat. Be you a West Ham fan, Newcastle fan, or otherwise, or Gonzo. Thank you to Gonzo as well for being in there. Appreciate it.
If you are still here, please do like the video before you go. If you haven't already, Patreon included. Charlie does a better way of describing that. But if you haven't already, subscribe. We've been fantastic. Numbers again today have been absolutely unbelievable. I think we have like 30 new subscribers almost. Likes have been up there. Really appreciated the content from everybody. The live chat coming through. You've all been splendid and made the game go by a lot faster. So thank you from myself. I know Charlie will probably say it in a second, but thank you so much for supporting us. And it's been fantastic. And I will see you for the Burnley game. Anyway, sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, we'll see you for the Burnley game. And again, make sure to click the link, spam it in the chat now. Gonzo's already put it in there. Make sure go check out Gonzo's review right now. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you for Burnley.